This broadcast of Yo Football is brought to you in part by Cameron Autoplex, your Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealer, Ebco Development, by Melanie Romine, your Edward Jones representative, Buckholz State Bank in Cameron, Buckholz, and Rogers, by Budget Host Inn and Suites, Cox's Heating and Air Conditioning, by Syntex Auto in Temple, Just Chiropractic of Temple, Denios Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces, by Citizens National Bank, Cameron Farm and Ranch Company, by Milam County Livestock Auction in Cameron, Temple Heat and Air, by Lisa Roden, your Germania Insurance Agent, Caliber Metal of Cameron, by Central Avenue Bistro in Cameron, Legacy Nursing and Rehabilitation, and by Standards Home Health. And now, it's game time with Brett Everhart and Kenny Driska.
Cameron Hill football team looking at redemption tonight here in Franklin. Welcome to Hendrick Field at Lions Stadium as the Yeomen take on Franklin in a match of premier programs. Good evening, everybody. I'm Brett Everhart alongside Kenny Driska here tonight. The Yeomen are meeting Franklin on the road after getting roughed up just a little bit last week against 4A Belleville. We've got kickoff coming up here in just about 20 minutes or so, and we're going to return as the pregame show continues next.
Are you or a loved one in need of home health care? Wondering if you qualify for home health services? Call Standards Home Health for a free in-home consultation to evaluate your situation and to select a home health professional to care for you and your needs. And Standards Home Health is covered 100% by Medicare and accepts TRICARE, Scott & White Health Plan, and most major insurances. So don't wait. Get the care you deserve. Call Standards Home Health at 1-888-671-7007, 1-888-671-7007.
Hi, I'm Jason Donalik from Ebco Development. For more than 25 years, you've been able to find Ebco Development in the phone book. How many other companies are still listed along with us? It's a good question. Check it out and see for yourself. So why take chances? Ebco Development has been there for you since 1984. Quality remodeling, new construction, roofing, and more. That's Ebco Development. Call us first at 254-697-2186. 697-2186.
Welcome back here on the pregame show from Franklin as KMIL's coverage of Yo football continues this year. The Yeomen looking to rebound tonight, though after struggling on defense just a little bit last week. Kenny, we've seen a tale of two teams for Cameron here in the first 2 weeks of the season. Week one, well, a little bit sluggish on offense, but the defense was outstanding. Week two features high-flying offense. Defense, well, they kind of weren't around. So what do you expect tonight from the Yeomen?
Well, I kind of hope it's a combination of the 2 weeks, I guess. I hope we get the first week's defense, that really bowed up when it had to make a stop there in the second half a couple times and looked a lot more mature than they probably really are with all those sophomores that start on the defense. And then I hope to see, more of last week's offense where I felt like we established the run and had two young backs kind of come, that hadn't really got a lot of varsity game time experience yet with Keyshawn Johnson and Fabian Bynum that both, did a really good job of running the ball. And then, still use our good wide receivers to stretch the field with our air attack.
I mean, really the reality is we're 2 weeks into the season. You had one scrimmage, and that was all you got. I mean, you can't expect perfection in week one, but you need to see growth. And some people would say, I'm not sure we saw that in week two.
Well, and it's hard to judge too whenever your opponents are of such different quality.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock against Mahia at all. But they're a team that is really they only had one scrimmage when we played them, or I'm sorry, they didn't even get to scrimmage when we played them, and we had our one scrimmage, and so they were kind of a week behind us there. And then you couple that with the fact that they've got a new head coach installing a totally new system. They're not where they want to be yet at all. As to where, Coach Rowe over in Belleville's been there for, golly, I'm not sure how long, maybe close to 10 years now, maybe. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
And he's really got that thing rolling over there. It's just a system for them right now. And so, it's two totally different opponents. And so it's hard to judge, did we step forward? Did we step back? Offensively, I think we definitely stepped forward,
Yeah.
Just look at the scoreboard and see that, defensively, it's hard to say because Belleville was thinking good.
They were. And here's the deal. Look, moving forward from last week, it's time to put that game behind you. So you look tonight, you've got Franklin, which is a whole other animal, because Franklin's in a tough spot when you look at it. So they played in week 1, didn't get a chance to play last week, obviously, dealing with COVID-19 issues. They had several of their players in the athletics program came down with it after attending, I guess, some sort of gathering, I guess is the way they clarified that.
Right.
So it's now been 2 weeks since you played meaningful football. What does that mean for your program?
Well, back when I was coaching there, I remember a lot of coaches say that you make your greatest improvement, your most progress between games 1 and 2. And so, I'm kind of hoping the fact that they didn't get a week 2, puts them a little bit behind the 8 ball there. Also another thing is, football coaches, we're creatures of habit, man. We like routine, we want, if anybody ever sees, Coach Brashear's, Friday schedule, I mean, it's the same thing week after week after week. The only thing that might change is the departure time when you're playing away games, just because of distance and things like that. And so, they're totally out of their routine here in Franklin, having not played last week. And so, I think that puts them behind the 8 ball a little bit.
You talk about actually being behind the 8 ball. So their opponent that didn't get to play last week, the Hearn Eagles, they don't get to play again this week either. I don't know if you noticed that. That was in the news.
I did hear that.
Waverly,
yeah.
who they were supposed to play tonight, came down with COVID, and so they scrapped that game. So poor Hearn is not going to get to play 2 weeks in a row, and it'll be 3 weeks before they play another football game.
Yeah, man, if I'm Hearn right now, I'm just absolutely sick. I would have found a game somewhere, somehow. I don't care if it was in the Panhandle. If I had to go to Dalhart or somewhere to get a ball game, I'd have done anything to get a ball game. I don't care if I prepared all week long for a slot T team, and the only thing I could find was a team that was a spread team, man, I'd get them out there on the field and say, hey, we're just going to have to coach them up on the run and make some adjustments as the game goes. But, man, I feel really bad for those guys. That's terrible.
So one more note when we get back to Belleville here. Talking to your head coach, Tommy Brashear, this morning, he seemed to say that youthful inexperience, I guess, played a role last week as far as the defense is concerned. Some folks out of position and not necessarily reading their keys or not identifying them. Why is experience so important against a slot T that Cameron's now seen 2 weeks in a row and will see for a third week?
Well, and, like I mentioned a minute ago, Belleville and Mejia are miles apart in where they are with their offensive I don't know what the word I'm looking for, development or what they have in and that type of stuff. I mean, the speed at which Belleville runs their plays, you can't replicate that in practice. So it's really difficult for those young guys to prepare mentally for how quick they're going to, snap the ball on every play and how quick they're going to be able to, hand the ball off and make their exchanges and hit the hole and that sort of thing. So, you really have to take some game time to be able to adjust to that. And those, our young defense just hadn't had that opportunity or opportunity to do that yet at this point.
So Cameron gets the Franklin Lions tonight in Franklin, which is a historically tough place to play. We'll get into that later. But Franklin also under a new coach in Mark Fannin. This is a guy with a longtime coordinator under Mike Hedrick. So he's kind of like a legend around here. In fact, the field is actually named for his family. That said, do you expect a whole lot of difference from what the Franklin Lions do year in, year out?
Originally whenever I heard that Coach Hedrick was retiring, I kind of thought, well, we might see a different Franklin Lions football team going forward. I thought that, they might open it up a little bit more, but from what I've been able to see of them on film and that sort of thing, they're the same old smash mouth Franklin Lions football team that they've always been.
Well, let's get a look at what Tommy Brashear had to say this morning.
Probably a lot of the same. I mean, Belleville's probably more multiple. They get in more formations that you have to get lined up to. Franklin, to me, they've got their set formations they like to get in, and there's not as many different ones as there is for Belleville. But they're more than what Mejia did, but there's fewer than what Belleville did. So getting lined up and getting your eyes on your key and playing ball is huge for that defense. So, but they're going to be good. They're good at what they do.
kind of percentage of running are they going to be?
Well, they're about 85% run and about 15% pass so far this year in the films we've got on them. And they're going to run it every play if they can. I mean, if you don't make them throw it, they're not going to throw it. You're going to have to get them in 3rd and longs or 4th and longs to throw the ball. And even sometimes then they're going to run trap or quarterback out the backside, kind of a naked boot type thing. But they're good at what they do, and first downs are going to be huge tonight for us, defensively, because you want to get those guys in 2nd and longs and 3rd and longs and stuff like that. You want to do any offense that, but especially these guys, because they'll run it 4 downs in a row. If it's 4th and 1 or 2, they're going to run it again. So you want to get them in a 2nd and longs. They've got some good ones. Number 2 is their fullback. He's a very physical runner. I can't remember his name at the moment. He also plays some inside linebacker for them. Number 24 is their slot back. Very fast guy. I like to try and get him on the perimeter. Shifty, quick, fast kind of guy. They have 2 guys that play quarterback for them. They kind of rotate. Number 5 is their starting quarterback. He's a good athlete as well. He runs that offense very efficiently, very well. He's the senior of the group. And then number 15 is the other quarterback that comes in. He's only a sophomore. He starts at safety for him on the defensive side. But 15 is a guy they like to run the ball with when he's in there at quarterback. They call plays specifically that get him running the ball, and he's definitely a threat running the ball. Kind of a bigger, fast kind of kid, thicker kid. And number 3 is only a freshman. He's a tight end, but they love to run behind number 3. He's a big old boy, big kid. They run behind him a lot. They do have a tendency to definitely run his way and try and get behind that big blocker. Their O-line, I didn't specifically give any names or numbers, but they're very physical up front. They fire off the ball similar to Belleville. So definitely a very formidable opponent tonight.
All right, you heard Tommy there. This is not going to be the same slot T Cameron saw last week, nor really the week before that. Even so, same basic principles, right? So it shouldn't be all that different. And really in the past, decade or so, I guess really since Rick Rhodes was here as head coach of the Yeomen, they've really been dominant against slot T teams for the most part. I mean, why is that?
Well, I think typically we perform well against, one-dimensional teams. If teams can only do one thing really well, we seem to usually be able to kind of gear up and stop that, whatever that may be. And so, if it's a team that, that's a slot T team that, their bread and butter is that off-tackle dive and that sort of stuff, and they want to hand the ball off a lot, we run well side to side and that sort of thing. And so, if we can, kind of gang up on some of that and kind of shut some of that down and get them into long down and distance situations, then we can really pin our ears back and go after them whenever we force them to do things that they don't want to do. And so because of that, I think that if we can get an early lead in the ball game, that I think we've got a good chance to be successful tonight, because if we can get a lead and force them to have to get out of their philosophy, then I think that puts us in a good shape to win the ball game.
Lions defense going to be switching things up under the new head coach. Here's what Tommy had to say this morning.
They're still kind of a bend don't break, but they're going to base out of a 3-4 defense. Coach Raspberry from over here went over there and got a special teams coordinating job, and he took his knowledge of a 3-4 defense over there with him. They're going to know our defense and our scheme very well. It looks like they're running almost the same defense, to be honest with you. In fact, Coach Zeinert said working against our defense this week in practice has been great preparation for them, because it's very, very similar to what we do defensively. So that's really the only change. But still big on not give up that big play. Not gambling a whole lot. Although they do stunt their linebackers probably a little more than we do and stuff like that. But they do like to bring a linebacker here or there on stunts to bring some pressure, not only in the passing game but also in the run game. Number 34 is probably their best defensive player or defensive lineman. He's a defensive end. Ferguson, inside linebacker number 2. He also starts at fullback for him, so they'll take some other people in there at inside backer for him, since he plays so much on the offensive side. Safety number 15, who's also that quarterback they rotate in on offense. Washington, he's only a sophomore. He comes up very well in the run support. He's one of those guys that likes to come up and tackle and hit you, the kind of safeties you like to see in football. Outside linebacker number 31, he's probably their best linebacker. He's got a lot of tackles for him, got a good nose for the ball. He's always around the ball. And then the corner number 24, who also starts at the slot back for him very fast. Kind of their lockdown kind of corner kind of guy. So that might be an interesting matchup tonight. I'm assuming they'll probably put him on Spike's, and we'll go from there. But I'm assuming he'll probably go to Spike's side.
Right, so we've been breaking down the Franklin Lions ahead of tonight's game in Franklin. Kickoff is approaching us here at the field. We'll be back shortly with more on the pregame show.
It's your home away from home. The Budget Host Inn and Suites. Cable TV with flat screen LCD HD TV in each room. Guest laundry, fitness center, and pool. The Southern hospitality at Budget Host Inn and Suites shows through. They can accommodate your next business meeting in their meeting room and business center. Romantic getaway? Book a jacuzzi suite. So if it's a business trip, romantic getaway, or you just need a place to stay for the night, the Budget Host Inn and Suites in Cameron has a room for you. 102 Lafferty Avenue. Call 254-605-0610. BudgetHostCameron.com. Tadayos Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces offers the best selection on name brand furniture like Lazy Boy recliners, sofas and love seats, Simmons mattresses, Mohawk and Shaw flooring, and Fireplace Extraordinaire fireplaces. If you haven't been to Tadayos lately, visit their showroom on Highway 77, 1 mile north of Cameron. New inventory arriving daily. Tadayos, your best choice for furniture and flooring in Milam County. Tadayos Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces. Proud to support Yeoman Athletics, so winning tradition.
Back on KMIL this evening as we head toward week 3 of our season. Cameron Yeoman traveling to Franklin here to take on the Lions tonight. All right, let's get to some keys to the game. Our keys tonight brought to you by Mark Burns Laywell Funeral Home. They are serving Central Texas families since 1908. Kenny, what's your keys to the game tonight?
Well, my first one is I think we need to take an early lead to take some pressure off our young defense. That way, we can make Franklin get out of their comfort zone, like I talked about a minute ago, with what they like to do with that slot T offense. So our young athletes can just kind of pin their ears back and attack. The next thing I think is we need to be balanced on the offense. We did that last week, I feel like. And I mentioned a minute ago too, or earlier in the show here, everybody knows about our 2 all-state caliber wideouts and Zachorian Spikes and Pharrell Hemphill. But over the last 2 weeks, we've had some pretty decent running backs emerge as well in Fabian Bynum and Keyshawn Johnson. And then I think we need to do the small things right. No high snaps. Our quarterbacks continually have to jump for the snap, and it messes up our timing. Our running backs last week were a little bit careless with the ball and, had some fumbles. We've had some interceptions, and then on defensive side of the ball, we have to play assignment football to prevent the big play against this slot T offense.
All right, we have got our captains out at midfield after getting our pregame keys done from Mark Burns Laywell Funeral Home. Your coin toss out there brought to you by Juana's Mexican Restaurant in Cameron. The game day captain for the Yeoman is number 66, Hunter Hucks, as they are awaiting the showing of the coin here.
Big honor there for a sophomore, I think.
The rest of the game day captains, Trenton Nix and Garfield England. The senior game day captain is Marcos Vargas Perez. Yeoman have won and elected to defer. And so that means the Yeoman should see the football in the second half to get the second half of this ball game started. Meanwhile, let's run into our starting lineups here. Tonight's starting lineup is sponsored by Barrel Bump Smokers, specializing in customized ugly drum style smokers. You can find them on Facebook for more information. On the offense, receivers tonight are Nolan Brashear, Zachorian Spikes, Jaden Sanchez, and Kason Goolsby. On the offensive line from right to left, Colby Carranza, Cash Gelder, Hunter Hucks, Garfield England, and Colby Arney. Quarterback is Zane Zeidert. Running back is Fabian Bynum. We'll get to the defense in a moment. Let's now get to our national anthem.
At this time, join us for a moment of silence to honor the victims of 9/11, to be followed by our student prayer led by Mason Skrupinski.
you keep some love in your heart, and will keep your spirit high. Live your life from day to day, and recognize your life. Please don't ever forget the day when evil came from the sky. Bruce, Pro Bowl. Now please join me in prayer. Lord, thank you for this beautiful day. We are extremely grateful to be able to come here today and watch our students compete. We pray for good health and safety for the players as they play the game they love, and for everyone as they head home tonight. Guide us as we go throughout our daily lives, and in everything, let your will be done. Amen.
And now join the Franklin High School band as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
A little bit quiet. The band is actually not facing us. We are on the visitor's side, and unfortunately, very tough to pick that up over here with our mics on this side. But meanwhile, let's finish the rest of the starting lineup here tonight, brought to you by Barrel Bump Smokers. Find them on Facebook to get more information. Defensively, we got to send out on the defensive line Trenton Nix, Eduardo Gill, Jacoby Bailey. The linebackers, Armando Reyes, Colton Barbeau, Fabian Solomon, and Landon Green. The cornerbacks, Iverson Brazil and Henry Hubnick. And the defensive back side is Randy Flores and Pharrell Hempel at safety and Rover. So there you go. There's a look at your starting lineups. And again, those captains, Hunter Hucks, Trenton Nix, Garfield England, and Marcos Vargas Perez. And an interesting name that you don't see on the starting lineup, Pharrell Hempel is not at wide receiver.
Yeah, but, he's going to get in there and he's going to play his reps, I'm sure. I don't know if there's a reason why he's being held out right now or if, they're just rewarding some other kids or anything right there. But I'm sure we'll see him on the field tonight as well.
Well, we are live on the internet at KMIL.com. The audio stream also available right there at KMIL.com. You can click on the Listen Live buttons on the website, as well as our mobile sites for iOS and Android. Of course, we're also streaming this with a video feed as well tonight. Big thanks to Kelvin Kelm's group at SportPixUSA.net for providing all of that video feed. Very, very thankful for them and all that they do. Meanwhile, we're right here at game time as we've got the opening kickoff coming up. Your kickoff tonight brought to you by the folks at A&R Cattle Company in Burlington. It's going to be a short pooch kick, and that is going to take a couple of bounces and then go out of bounds, drawing a flag against the Yeomen.
Out of bounds.
Been a struggle for the Yeomen to keep the ball in bounds on the kickoff. That is definitely an area that we're going to have to work at going forward this season.
Yeah, the good news is here tonight, again, we're sitting on the visitor's side. During the whole pregame, the sun is in our face. That has gone down, so we're able to see the other side of the field now.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative that the sun has finally gone down. It was killing me.
It was. Franklin Lions will have the first shot on offense. They're going to be moving from right to left offensively. The Lions coming out in all green with white stripes down the side of the pants, white numbers, green helmets. And coming out in that slot tee, it's going to be a pitch around the right side, looking for some running room, and finding a little bit there, picks up nice yardage, about a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, nice little gain there by the Lions. But I'd say I already like the alignment of the Yo defense better than last week. We're not quite as crowded up on the line of scrimmage, so we got some guys that can flow to the ball when they need to.
So it'll be 2nd down and 4 coming up here for the Lions. Setting a man in motion. Lots of movement as the play gets underway. Flags come out. They do hand the ball off, and he'll be immediately tackled at the line of scrimmage.
I think that was Landon Green on the tackle, but since they allowed the play to continue, that tells me it was probably a defensive penalty there.
Well, the referees will meet near the...
Usually if it's a legal procedure, they'll blow the whistle and stop the play. But if it's a defensive foul, they usually allow the play to go on. So it tells me it was probably encroachment on the defense. I think we might have jumped off sides there.
Ball is at the 40-yard line presently for Franklin, who's moving right to left across the radio dial. And it is a penalty against the Yeoman, 5 yards for being offside. So it gives Franklin a 1st down. That'll put them at their own 45-yard line. 11:28 on the clock here in our first quarter. Our first quarter, by the way, brought to you by Raptor P Trucking. 1st and 10 for the Lions. And flags again stopping this play.
And that tells me that's probably a legal procedure against the Lions, going back about 5 yards.
Will be a false start, so trading penalties. Of course, they got a 1st down for the Cameron penalty. Still get a 1st down, I guess, on their own penalty. They just lose yards for it.
Yeah, I like 1st and 15 defensively a lot better than 1st and 10, or even 2nd and 4.
Especially against the slot team.
Yes.
Clock inside 11:20 as the Lions come to the line. It'll be a 1st and 15 from their own 40-yard line. Man in motion. They're going to hand off to the fullback, and he is going to trip himself up across the 40-yard line and maybe got a yard out of it.
Nice little job by Colton Barbo there, filling the hole on that dive play that we had so much trouble with against Belleville last week.
Inside of 11 minutes here, the Raptor P Trucking first quarter. Scoreless in this ball game, a 2nd down and a 14 now for the Lions, who come to the line here. With 2 wide receivers off to the left side with a pitch around the right. Now cuts back to the left towards the middle of the line and picks up about 3 yards before meeting a couple of defenders.
Yeah, Barbo and Reyes there. That was kind of one of those plays where they show a little bit of misdirection, but those guys read their keys perfectly and stepped up and basically stopped it for almost no gain.
That was about a 3-yard carry for Malcolm Murphy, number 24 for the Lions. As we've already seen tote the rock. Now coming out on a 3rd and 11. 2 receivers off to the left side. And handing off. Up the middle he goes, picks up maybe yards, and that was a tough sled up the middle.
They tried to run that little trap play that Belleville had so much success with last week, but number 54, Jacoby Bailey, did a great job of stuffing it right in the hole there, forcing a punting situation for the Lions.
Will be a punting situation, 4th down and 11. From their own 44, the Lions will be forced to punt. 9:45 on the clock, 2 men are back for the Yeoman. And this is a situation that Coach Tommy Brashear talked about in his coaches show that Yeoman could take advantage of. Special teams not great. It could be a low line drive punt, and they're going to let that one bounce. It will be fielded on a hop at about the 15-yard line, coming towards the near sideline for the Yeoman, then finally whipped down at about the 22-yard line, and he was just...
Wow, I can't believe that they did not throw a horse collar flag on that, because the guy just grabbed him right by the back of the shoulder pads. And the only thing I can think is that maybe he didn't have his hand inside the shoulder pads, I guess.
So 9:24 on the clock. The Yeoman will be out on offense for their first look here against the Lions defense. It'll be a 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. The Yeomen come out with maroon pants, white jerseys, white helmets with maroon lettering throughout. It'll be a 3 wide receiver set to the short side of the field. Zidert looking to the left, though, and he's going to go deep, looking for a man. That ball, though, is going to be knocked away by the defender. Great defense on that far side of the field running.
Yeah, the defender did a great job just kind of keeping his hand right on Pharrell Hemphill's hip there. Zane probably underthrew that ball just about 2 yards or so there. I think if he'd got about 2 yards further, Pharrell might have been able to get the catch and make some nice yardage.
So 2nd and 10 for the Yeoman, 9:18 on the clock. 2 wide receivers off to the left side and 1 to the right. Steads a handoff up the middle, spins through the first tackle, then spins around again, and is going to go down at the 30-yard line. It'll be about a yard shy of the first down marker.
Fabian Bynum with the inside zone on the handoff there. Nice job spinning out of 1 tackle and making a few more yards, making it a very manageable 3rd down for the Yeoman.
Yeah, it looks about 3rd down and 2 for Cameron. So a interesting 3rd down as Cameron Comes out, 3 wide receivers to the right for Zinert, 1 to the left. He's got 1 man in the backfield. It will be a handoff, trying to find some running room up the middle, and he's got to get close. We'll see where they mark it.
Yeah, it's very close there. Bynum, basically the same play there, just inside zone play. Looks like
they haven't
signaled yet. First down.
There it is. So it is a Centex Auto first down. That's your buy here, pay here dealer. Easy financing terms and excellent service. Visit them in Temple at one of their 2 locations or find them online. Quickly to the line, 8:40 on the clock here. They're after P Trucking first quarter. Low snap, and they're going to get the handoff. Now juking around in the backfield and tries to find his way towards the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get maybe right back to it.
And we were in kind of what we call the max protect formation there with back flanking Zinert on either side. Which really is not a spread type formation, and just kind of a sweep play really is what that is.
So a 2nd down and 10 for Cameron here. Ball is on their own 34-yard line. 3 receivers off to the left for Zinert. He's got 1 man to the right on the short side of the field. Looking to throw. It's going to be the screen, but he overthrew. That'll be incomplete.
And they had a little blitz on there with their outside linebacker, and so Zane had to let go of that ball just a second earlier than he really wanted to there.
Stops the clock at 7:58, and a 3rd and 10 for the Yeomen coming up here. Kind of get the feeling these 2 teams just sort of feeling each other out here in the early going.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody's just kind of saying what you got for me.
Here it is, 3rd and 10. The Yeomen with trips to the right side for Zinert. Nobody on the long side of the field. Zinert looking to throw, looking to his right. He's going to let one fly. Looking for Sikorian spikes. That ball's picked off at the 30-yard line. Now working his way upfield. Flags come down, and he will be tackled at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Sikorian had made a great attempt on the ball there. Was not a badly thrown ball at all. But one of the Franklin defenders, I think, got a hand on it and tipped it to one of the other defenders who was able to come down with it. And then I think somebody may have blocked in the back or something, or held after the change of possession.
I believe that was Malcolm Murphy, but Zinert with an ill-advised throw, throwing it, was it triple coverage?
Yeah, it pretty much was there, triple coverage. Interesting, we kind of went with a trips formation to the short side of the field there, and then had tight end over on the wide side of the field there, and we threw at the trips on the short side of the field.
Well, it's a penalty after the interception. It was a block, I believe, in the back is what I heard. And so they'll move Franklin back inside the 20-yard line to the 16. So 1st and 10 for the Lions, deep in their own territory.
And really, that worked just as well as a punt right there too, Brett.
It really did. So pinning the Lions deep, 1st and 10 for Franklin here at Lions Stadium at Hendrick Field. 7:45 on the clock here in the first quarter, brought to you by Rafter P Trucking. On their own 16, from the huddle, the Lions come out. No wide receivers here, as they'll hand this ball off up around the right side, at right edge, and they pick up about 3 yards.
Yeah, a little veer play again there with Solomon and Barbeau, and I think that's Green that was the other Yeoman that was in on the tackle. No, I believe that might be our corner out there, Randy Flores, that stepped up with some run support.
2nd down and 7 for Franklin here. Again, inside their own 20-yard line at the 19. Jumbo slot T formation right up the middle, breaks through the line of defense, and then rumbles ahead near the first down marker and passed it to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, Yeoman had him wrapped up and stopped for no gain in the backfield there, and he just slipped out of the tackle. A good, strong run there by the Franklin running back.
Inside of 7 minutes left here in the first quarter. Again, brought to you by Rafter P Trucking. From that slot T formation. Quarterback looking to throw, rolling to his right, still rolling, and he's going to let it go. That's through the hands of his intended receiver, and incomplete.
I tell you, I noticed something on that play right there, Brett, that really it almost looked like a screen type play, because their lineman, it really almost kind of let our defensive lineman have really good penetration there. And I really like what our defensive lineman did. They kind of just stopped and sat there in their holes, so that, if it was a screen that was coming back at them, that they'd be in position.
2nd down and 10 for the Lions. This time, 1 wide receiver off to the left side. Going to be a toss play in the backfield. The Yeoman's got 3 defenders back there. They're going to wrap him up for a loss at the 25-yard line.
Great job by Trenton Nix, actually, of catching that sweep from almost the backside there, backside defensive tackle position. Trenton just, kind of whipped his guy and caught the running back from behind.
So as the clock runs inside of 6 minutes and 20 seconds, 3rd down and long for Franklin, something you don't want to see for a slot T team. 3rd and 13.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about in the pregame. This gives us a chance to possibly, especially if they were to come out in, like a passing formation here, something, deviate from their normal formation here, give us a chance to maybe pin our ears back and really go after them hard here.
Well, I'm not sure the whistle's blew.
But the play clock just now started.
The head ref went into the huddle, talked to Franklin. They sent a man off and a man back on. No idea. Inside of 6 minutes, now's the clock rolling, and now we've got a timeout on the field. That was a crazy sequence of events. I believe that was taken by Franklin.
Yes,
and
Franklin
so
called timeout.
We'll take a timeout with them. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Yo Football on 105.1 The Ranch.
This is Brad Vosselin with Cameron Farm and Ranch Company. We realize firsthand all the hard work and dedication that all high school students put in to perform their best on game day. We also know how hard producers work to keep their livestock and crops performing at their best. Stop in and we'll find the tools you need to keep your animals in shape and performing well. At Cameron Farm and Ranch, we're in the game on 4th and inches. And around here, when we say go yo, we mean
go yo!
Back to the Rafter P Trucking first quarter here at Lions Stadium and Hendrick Field. The Yeoman and Franklin Lions scoreless here in the Rafter P Trucking first quarter. It is 5:56 to go until we get to the second quarter. And a big 3rd down of 13 for the Franklin Lions from their own 25-yard line coming up here. And so far, it's, I don't want to say punchless, but kind of sort of is.
Yeah, it's you said a minute ago, both teams are kind of feeling each other out, and that's a great description.
So here come the Lions. They've got a receiver off to the right side as it will be a handoff off the right side. He breaks through a shoelace tackle and then rumbles forward for extra few yards. He'll pick up 7 on the carry.
Yeah, they went with the off-tackle veer there, stuck to their game plan, didn't deviate, and, guy was about, one broken tackle away from getting the first down.
Actually, forgot they were facing 3rd and 13, so that's actually a 10-yard carry by the tailback and forces still a 4th down. So 4th and 4 for the Lions. They'll back up in the punt formation, and 2 will be deep for Cameron. They're both going to stand at about their own 35-yard line. Here's the snap, and the kick is going to be a short one. It's going to take a hop at about the 37, and then it's going to head towards the Franklin Lions sideline where it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, it kind of went right turn, Clyde, after it bounced.
That it did, and it will give the Yeoman nice field position, I believe, as they'll set up with 5 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in the Rafter P Trucking first quarter.
Something we've done twice already, Brett, in the ballgame that we really didn't do last week or even the week before much, is we've already taken 2 shots deep early. I like that we're doing that, stretching the field, giving our running backs opportunities and maybe, be able to make some plays down the road. 1st
and 10 for the Yeoman. They're going to have it at their own 29-yard line. Trips to the right side for Zeinert. None to the left. Zeinert a handoff up the middle. Shuffling through the line of scrimmage and picks up nice yardage on the carry. Got 6-7 yards on it.
Yeah, Bynum kind of got in behind a little fold block there. We had tight end to the left side there. Kind of widens out their defense a little bit when we set that tight end there and allowed us to get a nice little gap there for Bynum to pick up some good yardage.
Inside of 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Still scoreless in this one here in Franklin. Yeoman this time with trips to the left side for Zeinert. 1 man alone to the right and 1 in the backfield. Zeinert takes a snap and he's looking to his left. He's going to throw that way. He's got the bubble screen set up and that's going to be a drop pass.
And that was one that was really set up really well. Zeinert threw a great ball there, and Fabian or Farrell rather, just slipped right through his hands. I think he was maybe looking upfield before he secured the ball.
Looked like he had excellent blocking in front if he'd have hung on to it. 4:35 now to go. It's going to be a 3rd down and 4 here for the Yeoman. It's a twin back set. The 2 backs flanking Zeinert on either side. He's got 2 receivers to his left. Play clock inside of 10. They're going to send a man in motion. Headed towards the flat. Zeinert, though, looking to keep. Trying to find some running room. Around the left, he bounces out, and then he's going to be hit and a loss of yards.
It's obviously a designed run, almost like a quarterback lead play if you're going to run a lead out of the old I formation. But our offensive linemen we had some missed blocks there. I'll just put it that way.
So 4th down will force a punt for the Yeomen here. And the Lions will send 2 deep to receive. They'll stand about their own 35-yard line. I tell you what, Zeinert has turned out to be a weapon on special teams.
Yeah, his foot has paid a lot of dividends so far as our punter.
Well, 2 returners still backing up. They're going to stand at their own 30-yard line. It's going to be a high snap. Zeinert going to have to get this one off under pressure, and he does, and it's a good one. They'll come up and field that at the 34-yard line. We've got flags coming out, and the return comes to the 45-yard line.
Really nice spiral there by Zeinert under some duress. Would like to have a little more height on it. Got to the return man a little bit quick, but coverage team did a great job getting down there and covering, and of course Franklin either blocked in the back or held there, one of the two, I believe.
3:38 on the clock as they sort out the penalty here. Should go against Franklin. Waiting for the signal here. It was a block in the back against the Lions, so that will push them back. They would have had excellent field position around the 40-yard line. Instead, they'll be further back, down closer to the 30-yard line.
Looks like it's going to be balling about the
27.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Scoreless ball game here in the Rafter P Trucking first quarter. 3:38 on the clock as the Lions come to the line. One receiver to the right side is got the toss play coming around the right side, looking for that edge. Barely going to get around it. He does pick up about 3-4 yards on the carry across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they kind of went with the speed sweep there out of their slot formation, and the corner Randy Flores did a great job of kind of forcing the action there, waiting until some other Yeoman could get over there and help out and make the play.
So it will be a 2nd down and about 7 to go here for the Lions. They've got 2 receivers to the left side as the quarterback under center. He'll hand this ball off around the right side. Now cuts back to his left, spins out of a tackle up across the 40-yard line now. He's still on his feet, moving the pile up across the 45, and finally goes down.
Good, strong run by the Franklin running back right there, just carrying a host of Yeomen. And it looks like is that Pharrell Hemphill lost his helmet there. Is going to have to come out for a play.
Gives Franklin a 1st down at their own 46-yard line as the Lions come to the line. 2:45 on the clock and counting down. Franklin hands the ball off up the middle, and they'll work their way forward for a couple of yards.
A little off-tackle veer to the left there, and then you had Barbo and Armando Reyes and one other Yeoman that were in on the tackle there.
2nd down and 8 for the Lions now. Scoreless ball game here in the Rafter P Trucking first quarter.
Tell you, Brett, I think the Barbo kid is going to be a really good player whenever he matures a little more and gets a little more physical size on him.
Twins off to the left side here for the Lions as they'll hand it off around the right side. And he meets the line of scrimmage and then will be driven back into the turf, but he will get forward progress for about a yard.
I tell you what, Fabian Solomon just put a form tackle on that young man that he doesn't want to see again.
That looked like a textbook tackle.
Yeah, exactly. That was just absolutely perfect textbook. He wrapped him up down low below the waist, picked him up, and kind of just drove him straight into the turf.
Coming up inside a minute 40 to go here in this Rafter P Trucking first quarter. Still scoreless in this game. 3rd down and 7 for Franklin here. Setting a man in motion. Now going to hand it off right up the gut. They go with it and plowing ahead and picking up plenty of yards across the midfield to the 40-yard line of the Cameron Yeoman. A big run up the middle.
Yeah, they faked that hand sweep with that speed motion that they ran against us a minute ago and just ran a straight dive up the gut. Kind of took our eyes away from the play with that speed motion.
1st and 10 on the O side of the field. Actually marked out at the 39-yard line, so that's where the Lions have it. 1st and 10. Coming to the line in that bunch One man heads out wide to the right. They're looking to throw. Now scrambling around to his left under pressure, and he'll go down for a sack.
Landon Green applying the pressure there and catching him from behind on the sack, flushing him from the pocket and securing the sack with Armando Reyes right there to kind of help finish it up.
So less than a minute left here in this first quarter. Huge loss for Franklin. Backs them up just about 10 yards. A second down and 20 from their own, or from the Yo 46-yard line. Handoff. Up the middle he goes, but no running room there as he stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Stop, number 16, Landon Green.
Landon Green falling inside on that play, making the stop as well from his kind of outside linebacker position.
Inside of 25 seconds left here in this quarter. And a 3rd and 17 coming up. See if they'll get one more play. They should. Coming up inside of 10 seconds left in the quarter. From the line. Will be a handoff. Up the middle he goes. Breaks through, then slips on the turf and goes down, but does pick up plenty of yardage in doing so. Got about 10 yards on the carry.
That'll be the final play of the first quarter.
And that was our last play of the Rafter P Trucking first quarter. Still scoreless here in Franklin from Lions Stadium and Hedrick Field. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with a second quarter coming up. You're listening to Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
Power. Power is being behind the wheel of a Ram 3500 with 1,000 pounds per foot of torque. Power is a 12-inch touchscreen and a 395 horsepower Hemi V8. Ram Power Days are going on now at Cameron Autoplex in Cameron, Texas. If you count on your truck, then you count on Cameron Autoplex to deliver the right truck for you. We have the selection and the pricing our customers deserve. We are your Central Texas Truck Authority. Shop in person or online at CameronAutoplex.com. And remember, it's always cheaper in Cameron.
Well, we return here in Franklin. We are still scoreless. We start our second quarter here tonight, which is brought to you by Barrel Bum Smokers. They're for the easy-to-use, customized smokers. They are locally owned and operated in Cameron and also reasonably priced. Phone number is 979-220-6147. You can also visit them on Facebook. Go talk to Blake Hairston. Just a great dude who can seriously put together a wonderful smoker because he makes it super easy on the cook, which I'm all about that.
Man, that's one thing I am not any good at is smoking and barbecuing and all that kind of stuff.
That's why you need one of these Barrel Bump Smokers. He makes it easy.
Yeah, I can eat it, but I can't make it.
It's effortless. That's the whole thing. It's effortless. Plus, they look good, too, so it can still be a conversation piece. All right, we see the Franklin Lions with a football here, but facing a 4th down. Now, this is deep in Yo territory, at least in Yo territory, from the 37-yard line. And so the Lions looking to go for it. And in the shotgun, Twins off to the left side. And the snap is going to be bobbled. I think the Yeoman may have come up with it.
Yeah, I think they basically rolled the snap back there. That's what I said it before. When teams get forced to do things that are not what they want to do, is when we can pin our ears back and go after it. And that's kind of what we did right there.
So a fumble, I guess that'll be a turnover. On 4th down, Yeoman pounced on the loose football running around on the turf. And so Yeoman have the football. They'll have it at their own 40-yard line facing a 1st and 10. Now here are the Barrel Bump Smokers second quarter. Yeoman moving from right to left on the radio dial. And coming out with 2 receivers off to the right side and a twin back set. They'll hand it off, cutting upfield and across the 40. There's the 50, the 40-yard line. He's off to the races, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Yeoman.
And we changed something up a little bit right there. We've been running spikes in the backfield a little bit, but that's Pharrell Hemphill who went and lined up at one of the running back positions, one of our normal wide receivers there, and he got through that first line and showed a burst of speed and took it all the way to the house.
A Hemphill touchdown, a 60-yard scamper. Yeoman leading 6-0, drawing first blood here in the second quarter. Now trying for an extra point here. As the hold is down and flags come in, the extra point try was good from prior collision, but we might be redoing that. A false start on the Yeoman. Means we'll try again. Again, the Yeoman scoring first here tonight with a 60-yard run by Pharrell Hemphill. Lead is 6-0 here in the second quarter, brought to you by Barrel Bum Smokers. Yeoman out in front, trying for an extra point. Brought to you by Cryer Collision. That's for all your auto body repair needs. Cryer Collision at 697-2122. There's the snap of the hold. The kick got plenty of leg in it, and it is good. The Cryer Collision extra point is true. 7-0. The Yeomen have the first lead of the night. It's 11:42 to go before halftime. You're listening to Yo Football on 105.1 The Ranch.
One day they're playing grown-up, the next day they are one. And as time goes by, the cost of college continues to rise. You know that college is important, but that expense may seem out of reach. We can help. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor, Melanie Romine. Let's work together on strategies to help you tackle growing college expenses. Stop by our office at 315 South Houston here in Cameron for a face-to-face appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Welcome back here to Ryan Stadium, Hedrick Field here in Franklin. The Yeomen out in front, 7-0. Let's get to the Dons painted body scoring drive. That is going to be easy. One play, 60 yards. It was a Hemphill 60-yard touchdown run. That is brought to you by Dons painted body. More than 20 years experience in auto body repair, taking the dents out of accidents. Call Don's Paint and Body. The number is 697-2011. You can also stop by across from Brookshire Brothers in Cameron, over on West 4th. Nice folks over there, by the way, the Unix. Great folks, been doing excellent work over there for a long, long time now. So here in the second quarter, Yeoman out in front, 7-0, preparing to kick off here. We'll see how that plays out. As the kick is going to be high and short. That'll be fielded about the 31-yard line, and then he is going to be hit at the knee and immediately goes down.
Jaden Sanchez just went in and sawed him straight off at the knees.
Like a missile. He went down about the 40-yard line. See where they mark him down. They're going to actually mark him below that at the 38-yard line. So Franklin from their own 38, trailing 7-0. Lions with excellent field position up near the 40-yard line. Coming to the line here. And a quarterback keeps this one, loses the football, still somehow scoops it up off the turf on the run. And a forward fumble gives them the football near the first down marker, and it is enough for a first down.
Yeah, it was almost basically like a quarterback sweep or a quarterback follow type play there. And first contact, he laid it right on the turf, but unluckily for the Yeomen, luckily for the Lions, it bounced right up back in his belly.
So first and 10 for Franklin here as they hand the ball off. Breaks through the line of defense, and now he's dragging a couple of Yeomen down inside the 40-yard line to just shy of the 30 to the 32.
That's that little inside trap play that we had some trouble with last week. The difference is we actually had him hit for no gain, but we just didn't wrap him up and hang on, and so he was able to break and kind of spin out of the tackle and make some good yardage there.
That's a big kid that's been back there too. That's a couple of times he's been able to just maul his way through. Handoff this time around the left side, looking for some running room, is number 24 for Franklin. Spins through one tackle, spins around again, but this time he will go down.
Yeah, still picked up about 5 yards there, I think it was Fabian Solomon was finally able to kind of wrangle him out of bounds there.
I think he actually got about 6, so it's second down and 4 after the run by Malcolm Murphy. Gives a short field here, or at least a short set of downs for the Lions. Yeoman leading 7-0 here in the Barrel Bum Smokers second quarter.
And this is a spot where they might, run some play action and throw the ball here, try to get them a quick score.
To the line, and they are going to look to throw. Quarterback now cuts upfield, deciding to take off with it. Flags come in everywhere. The quarterback goes down near the line of scrimmage.
Kind of looked like a prophet there, but there was something just told me with the down and distance that's taking them a long time in the huddle that there might be a time for them to try to run some play action pass. there. And then I think, we did a good job of rushing the quarterback and caused them to hold there. And now we put them in a, down and distance type situation they don't like to be in.
Yeah, it was a penalty against the Lions. It's going to back them up. They're looking at 2nd down and 14, and the ball at the 36-yard line. 10:02 on the clock before halftime. Yeoman leading 7-0. Lions come to the line. One receiver to the right. Handoff right up the middle. Lots of running room. Huge hole. Got plenty of yards on that carry near the first down marker, and I think he might have got enough.
Yeah,
he did.
So, yeah, just straight ahead dive there. That right side of their offensive line is really good. They kind of caved us down, and there was, he got the handoff, and there was really just nobody there. There was nothing but air there.
I want to say that was Seth Spiller on the carry. Two receivers off to the right side for the Lions this time. They hand off to the left for Murphy, and he is going to be just manhandled to the turf. He tried to leap, and he just got walloped for doing it.
Yeah, he tried to hurdle the tackler there, and I think that was number 6, Armando Reyes, that stepped up and kind of plucked him out of the air and put him on the ground.
Inside 9:20 to go. Yeoman leading 7-0, but Lions deep in Yo territory inside the 20-yard line. 2nd down and 7 as they will come around the right side on a handoff. And just Yeoman trying to hold him up. Finally will bring him down.
Again, it's that kind of that straight handoff, the beer type looking play where they handing it off over that right side. That right side of their offensive line is really good.
That was Spiller on the carry who took him to the 10-yard line. And it's going to be a 1st and goal for Franklin at the 10. Yeoman leading 7-0. Lions coming from the sideline, bringing in the play.
Tell you, if you're going to give up 1st and goal, you want it to be inches inside the 10-yard line, where at least they've got to go all 10 yards with only 4 plays to get there.
So 1st and goal, the Lions come to the line. Looking to run around that right side. He finds a little bit of a seam, picks up 4 yards on the carry.
I believe that's Hunter Hux that's in there on defense some now for the Yeoman. I think like number 66, unless my eyes are failing me, which is possible, almost caught that running back from behind.
So a 2nd and goal coming up here from the 6-yard line. Lions again in that bunch. Quarterback hands off, trying to find that left side, but not a lot going on that edge. That Yeoman came up with a football, but I believe he was going to be downed before then.
Yeah, I think he was already down, but you never want to take a chance. Anytime you can get your hands on that ball and take off with it, you better do it.
That's right. 7.5 minutes left before halftime. Yeoman leading 7-0. It's going to be a 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Yeoman needing a defensive stand right here.
Another potential opportunity for the Lions to put the ball in the air here.
They've got one wide receiver off to the right side as they are going to hand this ball off, trying to spin his way into the end zone, and he gets in. Seth Spiller punching it in from 4 yards out around that right side. And the Franklin Lions within a point, pending the extra point try, and a Yeoman is down.
Tell you, Spillers is pretty darn good, especially over that right side. That right side of the Franklin offensive line is a pretty good group.
I'll tell you what, with the injury timeout here, let's step aside as well. We'll be back in just a moment. The score is 7-6. Yeoman out in front, pending an extra point. We're back in a moment.
Caliber Metal in Cameron, Texas provides all your PBR panel, classic rib panel, and standing seam concealed fastener materials. We also cut standard and custom trim up to 21 feet. We have metal to metal and metal to wood screws, closures, pipe boots, and sealants. We have a quick turnaround with 20 colors in stock. Located at 106 South Washington Avenue, Cameron, Texas. Buy local 254-605-4110. And mention the Ranch 1051 and receive a 5% discount for new customers.
have a player down right at the goal line after that touchdown run by Seth Spiller for Franklin.
He's face down on the turf. We can't really get an angle to see the number, see who the young man is. One concern I have at this point in the ballgame, Brett, is that they've run 27 offensive plays and we've only run 10. They're really chewing up a lot of clock and but man, our defense our young defense has been on the field a lot of plays already.
Well, again, still tending to the player, a Yeoman, who is down at the goal line here in Franklin, just under the leg of the K in Franklin in the end zone. I think we'll step aside again. We'll come back in a moment. Again, we are in an injury timeout here in Franklin. The Yeoman leading 7-6, pending an extra point after a touchdown run by Franklin. You're listening to 105.1 The Ranch. We're back in a moment.
It's your home away from home. The Budget Host Inn and Suites. Cable TV with flat screen LCD HD TV in each room. Guest laundry, fitness center, and pool. The Southern hospitality at Budget Host Inn and Suites shows through. They can accommodate your next business meeting in their meeting room and business center. Romantic getaway? Book a jacuzzi suite. So if it's a business trip, romantic getaway, or you just need a place to stay for the night, the Budget Host Inn and Suites in Cameron has a room for you. 102 Lafferty Avenue. Call 254-605-0610. BudgetHostCameron.com. Tadio's Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces offers the best selection on name brand furniture like Lazy Boy recliners, sofas and love seats, Simmons mattresses, Mohawk and Shaw flooring, and Fireplace Extraordinaire fireplaces. If you haven't been to Tadio's lately, visit their showroom on Highway 77, 1 mile north of Cameron. New inventory arriving daily. Tadio's, your best choice for furniture and flooring in Milam County. Tadio's Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces. Proud to support Yeoman Athletics, a winning tradition.
This is Brad Vosselin with Cameron Farm and Ranch Company. We realize firsthand all the hard work and dedication that all high school students put in to perform their best on game day. We also know how hard producers work to keep their livestock and crops performing at their best. Stop in and we'll find the tools you need to keep your animals in shape and performing well. At Cameron Farm and Ranch, we're in the game on 4th and inches. And around here, when we say go yo, we mean
go yo!
Power. Power is being behind the wheel of a Ram 3500 with 1,000 pounds per foot of torque. Power is a 12-inch touchscreen and 395 horsepower Hemi V8. Ram Power Days are going on now at Cameron Autoplex in Cameron, Texas. If you count on your truck, then you count on Cameron Autoplex to deliver the right truck for you. We have the selection and the pricing our customers deserve. We are your Central Texas Truck Authority. Shop in person or online at CameronAutoplex.com. And remember, it's always cheaper in Cameron.
Heating and air conditioning. We all expect it to work. When it doesn't, don't call any heating and AC company. Call Temple Heat and Air, your full-service AC and heating company. 254-771-1012. Locally owned and operated since 2001, you'll see the difference in their personalized, safe, and friendly service. Visit American Standard and Lennox dealer. You'll get the right parts and service for the right system. Get same-day service and no surprises, plus great financing and discounts. When your system isn't working, call Temple Heat and Air, 254-771-1012.
With more than 100 years of serving Central Texas, Buckholz State Bank is all about you, the customer. Bank personal touch. That's what Buckholz Bank does best. At Buckholz State Bank, you're not just a number. Discover the difference. Stop in at any of their 3 locations and visit with a personal banker about becoming a valued customer. Because we care. Buckholz State Bank in Buckholz, Cameron Branch Buckholz State Bank, and Rogers Bank. Member FDIC.
Discover the many services that Standards Home Health can provide for you or a loved one in need of in-home health care, like skilled nursing care, home health aides, cardiac recovery, pulmonary recovery, physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy services. And for those difficult times, they provide compassionate hospice care. Standards Home Health, raising the standards for in-home health care in the state of Texas. Call today for a free in-home consultation, 1-888-671-7007.
Well, welcome back here to Franklin and the entire Yo sideline and the Yo side of the stands, I think, collectively holding their breath. An injury timeout here in Franklin as we stepped aside for several minutes, and as many of you know, that's not usually a good sign. They have brought the stretcher out, and they will be It looks like putting him on a board. They are doing that now. And the Yeoman leading 7-6 right now, but of course many thoughts and prayers going up right now for the injured player. And that is a Yeoman that was down and for a long time did not move. Again, I'm in the midst of an injury timeout here. The Franklin Lions had scored on the play, and then the result was an injured player down at the goal line.
We still haven't been able to identify who the Yeoman is.
Again, they have brought the stretcher out. So waiting to find out and have him be wheeled off here, but a very hushed crowd presently. What had been a lively game, as I think had everybody holding their breath.
Yeah, for sure at this point. You know, this is a thing you never want to see. You never want to see a kid laying on the field, whether it's from your team or the opponent's team. And so
again, waiting here for the injury here that is currently on the field. They did bring the stretcher out and placed him on a board. Right now the Yeomen are huddled around on a knee at about the 30-yard line here on the Yo sideline. Lions also taking a knee on the far side. Not something anybody wants to see.
And up until this point, I think, you know, the Yeoman team has been relatively healthy, other than Jeremiah Saraceras, who's had knee surgery about a week or so ago, got hurt in preseason practice.
Let's step away again. Again, our current score is 7-6. Yeoman out in front, but we are pending an extra point try for Franklin. The Yeoman had just given up the touchdown when a player, Ward Cameron, came out of the scrum down and was injured and still waiting on that. So let's step away again. We're here in Franklin as they are working to get him off the ground and onto a wheeled stretcher. So we'll step away here. Again, you're listening to Yo Football on 105.1 The Ranch.
So you're feeling out of alignment. Don't ignore the signs and think maybe they'll go away. Head straight to Just Chiropractic in Temple and see Dr. Barbara Proctor. With over 20 years experience, she'll get you adjusted and on your way with no hassles, contracts, or startup costs. Just Chiropractic is the home of the affordable adjustment, offering $20 spinal adjustments anytime. No appointments necessary and no insurance needed. It's Just Chiropractic, located at 1915 West Avenue in Mid-Temple, or call 254-791-5045.
A night under the stars in Huge Live Oaks. Craft beers and award-winning wines or casual dining in a beautifully restored historic home for upscale food. But wait, what if you could have both? You can at Central Avenue Bistro and the historic Lawrence Hubert House at 312 North Central Avenue in Cameron. Come see what is new and old all over again. Patio or inside dining for dinner Thursday through Saturday, 5 to 10 p.m. For info or to schedule a private party, call 254-627-0083 or check their Facebook page.
At Milam County Livestock Auction, our goal is to provide the best market environment for both buyers and sellers. Located in Cameron, we're right in the heart of Central Texas, which allows us to service customers from all over the state. I'm Kenan Mingus, and I invite you to join our team every Friday at noon for our weekly sale. You can reach us at 254-697-6697. Check us out on Facebook or at MilamCountyLivestockAuction.com. We look forward to seeing you this Friday at Milam County Livestock Auction. Sale starts at noon.
These days, you can't afford to take care of contracting issues alone. You need someone who will be there to do what is best for you and your project. I'm Jason Donald, and that's what we do at EBCO Development. Take care of you and your construction project from start to finish. For quality new construction, remodel, and roofing services, call EBCO Development at 254-697-2186. And know that we will be there for you. EBCO Development. Let's see what we can build together.
There's something in your home's air this fall. Feel it? It's the perfect air that comes from reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. There are savings in the air, too. Cox's Heating and AC is offering $13.50 in rebates, plus payments as low as $132 a month on a new Lennox system. To rethink your air and learn more, call Cox's Heating and AC 254-697-4252. For great products, big savings, and perfect air, thank Cox's Heating and AC, your local Lennox dealer. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number TACL B009432E.
Well, they've got him off the ground. He is on a stretcher now as we return here in Franklin, and that is a good sign. He is, of course, he was secured to a board before making the move onto the wheeled stretcher, and they are now taking him off the field now. I've not been able to see a number, but it is a Yeoman for sure. And that can take the wind out of a team. We'll see how the Yeomen decide to respond here. Again, as play had stopped, about a 20-minute delay based on that injury timeout. And right before the injury, on and goal for Franklin, number 2, the senior tailback Seth Spiller pounded into the end zone for a touchdown. Now the Lions will come out and try for an extra point try, but instead lining up in what looks like a 2-point conversion attempt. Spread out all over the field, setting a man in motion. Quarterback takes a snap, and he's going to try to power his way in across the end zone, and he is going to be in for a 2-point conversion.
Kind of what I call a lonesome polecat formation there, where they've got about 4 guys wide on each side of the ball, and just snap the ball to a really good athlete that they've got at quarterback there, got him in behind a couple of blockers, and Yeoman almost held him out, but he was able to sneak it in right at the end there.
So, a 2-point try is good, and the Lions have the lead. It is now 8-7. Talking to Coach Tommy Brashear, by the way, before our game early this morning as part of the Cameron Autoplex Coach Tommy Brashear show, he said it's very likely that Franklin is going to not even try an extra point all night long. You're looking at 2-point conversions for most of the night. Does that change how you approach the rest of the game now?
It definitely could, because you're a point behind, so now if you score and they score again, then they're always going to be ahead of you a little bit. And so, you kind of have to think about, I got to get up by 2 scores just to kind of give myself a little bit of cushion.
So 7 minutes to go before halftime. A 2-point conversion was good, giving the Lions the lead presently, 8-7. And Franklin is set to kick off here. Again, we had about a 20-plus minute delay due to an injury timeout, and if we can get information on that, we will do our best to do so. Yeoman carted off the field. Here's the kickoff from the Lions. It'll be a toe punch. That's going to be fielded off the ground at the 20-yard line, looking for some running room around the right side. Now still dancing around, and now cuts upfield near the sideline, and we'll have a football near the 30-yard line.
They kind of kicked it into a little bit of a no man's land there, and we were able to get a nice bounce off of it, make a decent little return off of it, but not able to employ our typical kickoff return where we like to either run the reverse or fake the reverse.
Well, 1st and 10 for the Yeomen here. They'll have it from their own 31-yard line, and this will show what the Yeomen are made of after that delay and seeing one of your own teammates carted off the field. Inside of 7 minutes and 6:52 to go, Yeoman trailing by a point. 2 receivers off to the left side for Ziders. The Yeoman move from right to left on the radio dial. Looking to throw, he's going to go to the screen play. That's going to be a fingertip catch. Spins out of the first tackle, but hit in the second one and goes down.
Shoestring catch, unbelievable there by the freshman Kason Goolsby.
So Goolsby on the catch gives the Yeoman about a 4-yard advance. Be 2nd down and 6 from the 35-yard line. Side of 6.5 minutes to go here in the Barrel Bump Smokers second quarter. 2 receivers to the left side on the short side of the field. Zeinert instead hands off, but he's going to be finding no running room. He actually looked like he got stalled by a lineman who was pushed back into the backfield. And now we've got another Yeoman down on the field and clutching his knee.
I believe that's number 77, Cash Gilner, that's down on the turf, if I'm not mistaken.
So another injury here. The Yeoman already had one player taken off the field due to an injury. 6:08 on the clock. Yeoman trailing 8-7. They're looking at a 3rd down and 6 would be coming up. And working on a player on the sideline.
On that last carry, we were in kind of that, what I call that nasty slot or sniffer back type formation there, and tried to use that guy as a lead blocker on the handoff, but he kind of got stymied in the backfield there and slowed Bynum down enough where the rest of the Franklin defense could get in there and finish off the tackle.
So again, with an injury timeout here for Cameron, that would be 2 big losses. If it turns out to be another serious injury here. Tell you what, I guess we'll step aside again for another injury timeout. We're coming back in a moment. You're listening to Cameron Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
Raising a family costs a fortune. There are so many expenses, unexpected as well as expected. We provide the loans and investments you need to help you secure your family's future. We have the know-how, resources, and technology to make the financial side of raising your family a little easier. In times like these, it's good to know you have a strong bank behind you. Citizens National Bank, member FDIC, rated one of the nation's strongest banks, equal housing lender, all loans subject to credit approval.
Welcome back here in Franklin as the injured player has hobbled off the field. That was Cash Gelder who will come to the sideline. Yeoman now facing 3rd down and looking to throw is Zeinert. He's got a man open across midfield and then goes shoved out of bounds into the Lions sideline. And that is a Centex Auto 1st down and a huge play for the offense.
Nice job on the pattern there by the slot receiver, Jaden Sanchez, running the out pattern after the wide receiver kind of cleared out the corner, and Zane did a great job putting the ball right in the basket.
Driscoll, you did have an update on that injured player in the end zone?
Yes, it was Jacoby Bailey, number 54, one of the defensive linemen for the Yeoman.
So 5:54 to go here in the first half. Yeoman going to hand this football off, cutting upfield, middle of the lineup, and he is going to pick up nice yardage. Got about a 10-yard carry and then some, 11, 12 yards up across the 35-yard line of Franklin to the 34. That's another Centex Auto 1st down for the Yeoman.
I think that was Hemphill in there again at the wide receiver position.
Clock coming up on 5.5 minutes to go before halftime. Yeoman trailing by a point. 8-7 is the score. The Lions out in front here at home. Cameron facing a 1st and 10 from their own 34. 2 receivers trips off to the right side, 1 to the left. And it will be a handoff up the middle, trying to bounce around, bounces backwards, now skips out to the right side and then plunges forward, and he'll pick up about 8 yards on the carry. That's a nice little run.
Yeah, great job by Bynum there, recognizing that there was not anything inside and bouncing it outside, using his speed and quickness to get out there and make some good yardage on the 1st down play.
2nd and 2 after the 8-yard carry, inside of 5 minutes to go before halftime. The Yeoman on the move here against this Franklin Lions defense. 3 receivers off to the left side as Zeinert in the shotgun. He's got 1 man to his right and 1 tailback to his right. Takes a snap and looks to throw quickly. That ball's going to be thrown, but short, thanks to some heavy pressure by Franklin.
Yeah, Zane was really lucky to be able to get that pass off there. He kind of faked the handoff on the counter play, but the defensive end outside linebacker was coming hard and never bit on the running back. He was going quarterback all the way.
Zane took a shot on that play, too. He was driven into the turf. 4:38 on the clock here in the Barrel Bump Smokers 2nd quarter. That's all that's left before halftime. Yeoman trailing 8-7 here in Franklin. Twin receivers to each side for Zeinert. He's got 1 man in the backfield. Takes a snap and fakes a handoff and then throws out towards the screen, but that ball is going to be dropped. They'll call it, I believe, incomplete.
Yeah, I think we missed a block on the wide receiver screen right there, and Sanchez pretty much got drilled at the same time the ball got there.
So the incomplete will bring up 4th down for the Yeomen. 4th and 2. Ball sits at the Franklin 26-yard line. This is a big play coming up for the U offense here. 4:32 to go before halftime. And a big 4th down coming up here. We'll see what the Yeomen decide to do. I believe we're going to get I want to say we're probably going to get a timeout here, and I think that's what we do. The Yeomen will take a timeout. 4:32 on the clock. Cameron trailing by a point. 8-7 is the score. You're listening to Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
In sports, as in cars, everyone loves a great drive. Centex Auto is dedicated to bringing you a great drive every single time you get in the car. Whether you're listening to the game or you're behind the wheel, when you need a car, go to the Buy Here, Pay Here dealer, Centex Auto. Check out both locations in Temple or visit them online at centex-auto.com. As you listen in on this great drive, remember that Centex Auto is a proud supporter of all Central Texas athletes.
Back on it coming out of the timeout. 4:32 to go here in Franklin before halftime. Yeomen trailing 8-7. And a critical 4th down coming up. 4th and 2 from the Franklin 26-yard line. The Yeomen will come out. The single receivers to each side at a jumbo set. And the Yeomen tried to hand it off, but whistles stopping the play.
Big power back Keyshawn Johnson looks like was going to get his first carry of the ball game, but not sure what Blewett did there.
Have not seen any signal. So now the Franklin Lions have seen exactly what you're going to throw or what you're going to run.
Looks like it's just a oopsies, let's do it over.
So 4th down and 2. Yeoman hand off right up the middle, spins out of a tackle and gets enough for a Centex Auto 1st down.
We ran basically the same exact play. Now Keyshawn ran it kind of in a different spot. But man, I tell you, really like the angle that his lean angle there. Great job of getting the ball and going after the hole there.
Inside of 4 minutes, 15 seconds to go before halftime. Yeoman after the Centex Auto 1st down have 1st and 10 from the Lions 22-yard line, knocking on the door of the Bling Box Boutique red zone. You've got a single receiver off to the left side. You've got 2 over to the right, and they'll hand off this time, and allowing forward and diving is across the 20 and into the red zone. Is the Yeoman on a carry here.
And that was Zeinert on the carry there. He kind of rode the ball into the tailback's belly there for a second, almost like a zone read type play.
Yeoman in the Bling Box Boutique red zone. That's the Bling Box Boutique, 111 North Central, downtown Cameron. Check their Facebook as well for the latest and go see the good folks, the good Renaults over there. Meanwhile, Yeoman coming to the line here inside the Bling Box Boutique red zone. 2nd down and 7 inside 3.5 minutes to go. A handoff this time around the left side, bouncing around, now following his blocker. Down the sideline he goes, and then finally shoved out of bounds just shy of the 1st down marker.
Tell you, great job by Fabian Bynum on the zone play there, getting behind the little slot receiver, the little freshman slot receiver, Kason Goolsby there, and just following him for about 6-7 yards.
With 3:09 on the clock, I believe a Franklin Lion has now gone down. This has turned out to be a physical football game. I mean, it hasn't appeared that way, but we've seen a number of injury timeouts right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it doesn't really look like it's, any more physical ball game than any other ball game, but, it just takes, getting hit on the right spot or, being planted while you're hit or something. You can't ever tell.
So 3:09 is what's left on the clock before halftime. The Yeomen are trailing 8-7. A 3rd down and 3 for the Yeomen here inside the Bling Box Boutique red zone. Ball sits at the Franklin 15-yard line. So from the 15, out of the injury timeout, Yeomen have the football here.
And we did reinsert our power back, Keyshawn Johnson, for this 3rd down and short situation here.
Yeomen will come out with 2 receivers to the right side, 1 man to the left. Handoff up the middle, pounds his way forward, still fighting, and then finally will go down after a big fight on that one.
That was Johnson right up the gut there. The Yo offensive line did a great job. It was a Franklin linebacker that finally met Johnson. Looks like he might just be inches short of the first down, possibly.
That's what it's looking like. He got just near, on forward progress, just near the first down marker.
Looks like he did up the first.
So he will get the Centex Auto first down, and that's important because it would have otherwise brought up fourth down, and now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Yeomen.
Just outside the 10. Looks like from about the 11, I guess.
Yeah, it looks to be about the 11-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 11. 2:44 on the clock and counting down. Yeomen trailing 8-7. Twin receivers to the right side. It's a two-back set for the Yeomen. Nobody to the short side towards the Cameron sideline. Zeinert looking to throw, looking for the corner of the end zone. He's got a man, but he overthrew him.
Yeah, it kind of ran a flag pattern there by a corner type pattern by Spikes, who actually lined up as an inside receiver that time. Typically stays out wide.
But it's stopped the clock. 2:29 to go. 2nd down and 10 from the 11 coming up. Yeomen trailing by a point, 8-7. Here in Franklin. Coming up at halftime, we'll have your Germania halftime report. Brought to you by Lisa Roden, your Germania insurance agent. On 2nd down, the Yeomen again in the twin back set. Handing it off around the right side, looking for running room. Now looking for the end zone, the corner, and he won't quite get inside, but he gets down close to about the 1-yard line.
That was Hemphill who had moved back into the backfield again that time.
That will be enough for a first down. It gives the Yeomen 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Yeomen here in the Bling Box Boutique red zone. 2:20 on the clock. Yeomen trailing by a point. Headed towards halftime here in Franklin. Yeomen with the football. As we've got a timeout here. The Yeomen take that. That is their 2nd of the half. They'll have just 1 remaining. 2:20 on the clock. You've got 1st and goal from the 1. You can't ask for much better than that, right?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, great spot to be in here. And, the shame of the matter is that we're an all-spread team. If this was 25 years ago, you'd say, okay, we're quarterback sneak right here,
Right.
But there is no quarterback sneak out of the spread.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do. They've got the big back in. They've had him in, and Keyshawn Johnson, who's really turned into a nice piece for that kind of short yardage situation. It's just very different running from the shotgun.
Yeah, and that's what, if it's my call right here, I hand the ball to Keyshawn Johnson, let him plow his way into the end zone.
Well,
I'm at least going to give him a shot or two at it.
The Yeomen will come out. They've got no receivers off to the left side, wide side of the field there. They've got 2 off to the right, and 1 man in the backfield with 1, as you call him, the sniffer back. And they will hand off up the middle, and no signal yet from the sideline. There it is. Touchdown, Yeomen, as he does plow forward enough to get it into the end zone.
And the Yeomen employed the tight end situation, or tight end in that formation again. Like I said a minute ago, or a few minutes ago earlier in the broadcast, I know what that does is that forces that Franklin defense to have to widen out, that defensive line to have to widen out a little bit longer when you put another man up there on the offensive line.
So 13-8 is the new score. Yeomen out in front, now trying for a Cryer Collision extra point. There's the snap. It was a high one, but the kick is up and good, and your Cryer Collision extra point is good. That's for your auto body repair needs. Stop by 3003 North Travis and Cameron and see Cryer Collision, or call 697-2122. New score, 14-8. The Yeomen out in front. 2 minutes, 14 seconds to go before halftime. You're listening to Yo Football on 105.1 The Ranch.
Legacy Nursing and Rehabilitation, located at 2202 North Travis in Cameron, is proud to back the Fighting Cameron Yeomen in 2020. Good luck to all Yo and Lady Yo athletes, trainers, coaches, cheerleaders, Bell Brigade, and that award-winning Yo High Band. Most people have a story to tell. Yo Nation has a legend. Legacy Nursing and Rehabilitation is proud to say,
welcome back here at Franklin's Lions Stadium at Hedrick Field. The Yeomen have retaken the lead now, 14-8, thanks to a 1-yard touchdown run by Keyshawn Johnson. Let's get to our Dons-Peyton Body scoring drive. 14 plays, 69 yards. The last one, the 1-yard touchdown plunge by Johnson as he powers his way in. The extra point was good, brought to you by Cryer Collision. And again, that's your scoring drive from Don's Painted Body with more than 20 years experience. Go see Don's Painted Body across from Brookshire Brothers in Cameron, or call 697-2011. Just 2 minutes, 14 seconds left before halftime. The Yeomen set to kick off here to the Franklin Lions after the touchdown. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to be caught by Franklin at their own 49-yard line, and I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, I think he kind of hit a sandwich, a little fat right there or something. That play or that kick came off of his foot. I don't think that's what we were intending to do.
Gives Franklin excellent field position with just over 2 minutes to go here in the Barrel Bump Smokers second quarter. Lions will come to the line quickly at their own 49-yard line. And looking on an end around, trying to find some running room around the edge, but instead he'll be brought down as the blocking breaks down in front of him over here on the Yo sideline, and he will go down for no gain.
Great job by Iverson Brazil at the corner position of coming up and giving run support, forcing the play inside, and then Colton Barbo coming in and just finishing the guy off.
So second down and 10 from their own 49, inside a minute 45 to go before halftime. Lions with no wide receivers. And the quarterback going to keep this one around the left side. He finds some running room and then finally will be hauled down after a 9-yard gain.
That's Fabian Solomon there, as they will finally track down the line quarterback.
Means 3rd and 1 for the Lions in Yo territory here at the 42-yard line.
And, this is a play where they're going to go for it on 4th if they don't get it here, so I'm looking play action pass.
1:12 on the clock as they snap this football. And he's going to be hit in the backfield, and that was a huge defensive play on the right side of the line.
Yeah, they went with the handoff to Seth Spiller there, who's had a lot of success up the middle against the Yeoman, and the Yeoman defense kind of bowed their neck and stiffened up and hit him right in the face.
Well, we've got a timeout taken by the Franklin Lions here on 4th down and 1 with a minute left in the ball in the first half here. Yeoman out in front 14-8, and this will be an interesting call here. We talked about a critical 4th down for the Yeoman just a moment ago. This, I would say, is just as critical for the Franklin Lions.
Yeah, this is where, who knows, they may, just try to run the quarterback sneak type play, get the first down here and hurry up and try to run some plays, get themselves in a scoring position. They may come out with some kind of trick play right here. Franklin's a team that they used to run the weirdest trick play in the world. We called it the hideout play, where they would run a play, and they can't do it in this situation, but they would run like a sweep to their own sideline, and then the receiver would never go back to the huddle. He would just stand over there on the sideline in bounds, and so then when you snap the ball, nobody realized that he had not stepped out of bounds, and they run him down the field. Obviously, they can't do that here, but, this is a time in the ball game where you look for some kind of trickeration.
Well, the other thing, too, is with a minute to go before halftime, you also wonder, they've got to be trying to figure out multiple plays to run, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely, because, they're old school, huddle every play type of offense, up against the clock like this, they can't do that.
So each team with one timeout, just a minute left to go here before halftime. Lions will come out with 2 wide receivers to the right side. And this one is going to be blown up from the beginning. The Yeoman in the backfield.
I tell you what, the nose guard, Eduardo Gill, absolutely destroyed the Franklin Lions center on that play. He was on the quarterback at the same time the quarterback was taking the snap.
They only marked it for about a 4-yard loss, but that was going to go down as being a huge defensive play. And Eduardo Gill blew that play up before it ever had a chance to get started. I think he had a chance to have the football before the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeoman have a football now as they take it on 1st and 10, trying to look for some running room. Now reversing course, trying to find the right side, and now not finding any room, dancing around in the backfield, but he is going to peek around for a huge loss. The Lions trying to strip the football and finally going down for about a 8-yard loss and taking up about 20 seconds off the clock. I think it looks like the Yeomen are taking their final timeout with 32 seconds to go here before halftime. Yeomen leading 14-8 here in Franklin. We're going to take a timeout with them. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Yo Football at 105 on the Ranch.
It's your home away from home. The Budget Host Inn and Suites. Cable TV with flat screen LCD HD TV in each room. Guest laundry, fitness center, and pool. The Southern hospitality at Budget Host Inn and Suites shows through. They can accommodate your next business meeting in their meeting room and business center. Romantic getaway? Book a jacuzzi suite. So if it's a business trip, romantic getaway, or you just need a place to stay for the night, the Budget Host Inn and Suites in Cameron has a room for you. 102 Lafferty Avenue. Call 254-605-0610. Budget Host Cameron.com.
Back here in Franklin is the Yeomen out in front, 14-8, in front of the Lions. Yeomen just burned their last timeout. It's going to be 2nd and 17 after the 7-yard loss by Hemphill on the carry. 32 seconds is all that separates us from halftime. Here the Barrel Bum Smokers' second quarter. Yeoman with the football. They've got 3 receivers to the left side for Zeinert. 1 man alone to the right and 1 man in the backfield. Facing a 2nd and long here.
And I believe Franklin's going to call timeout now.
I do believe so. Franklin had 1 left. They should have, I believe, none at this point. So Franklin's now going to take a timeout. So we'll step aside again. We're back in 30 seconds here on the Ranch.
Tadayos Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces offers the best selection on name brand furniture like Lazy Boy recliners, sofas and love seats, Simmons mattresses, Mohawk and Shaw flooring, and Fireplace Extraordinaire fireplaces. If you haven't been to Tadayos lately, visit their showroom on Highway 77, 1 mile north of Cameron. New inventory arriving daily. Tadayos, your best choice for furniture and flooring in Milam County. Tadayos Furniture, Flooring, and Fireplaces. Proud to support Yeoman Athletics, a winning tradition.
Back here in Franklin, Yeoman have the football coming out of the Franklin timeout. It's Yo ball, 2nd down and 17 from their own 38-yard line. Back-to-back timeouts taken by each of these 2 teams. You're looking at trips off to the left side for Zeinert. 1 man is alone to the right, and Franklin still can't get lined up. They've got 3 receivers to this side, but only 2 defenders. Now bringing an extra.
And Franklin is really in a prevent type look here.
And this one's going to draw flags.
I think we had a legal procedure and we had a false start there.
And, yeah, you've got 3 deep for the Lions, but...
And then about 4 at an intermediate level. I might be tempted just to, snap the ball and hand a draw off here and see what our running back can get. And, if you can't get enough, then you just go to the locker room and come out and try again in the second half.
Well, 2nd down and 22. Yeoman with twin receivers to each side this time. And now we've got more whistles. There's only 29 seconds left. This has been the longest final minute. Seems like that we've seen in a while. Oh, they put time back on the clock, so 32 seconds is left here before halftime. And 2nd and 22 here for Cameron. Twin receivers to each side. There's 1 man back around the 1st down marker at about the Franklin 45-yard line. This time they failed the handoff, and Zeinert couldn't give him the ball, so he keeps it, and he is going to be hit for a loss back to the 30-yard line.
The good thing is they don't have a timeout right here, so really if we want to, we can just let the clock run out. We can go in the locker room, try again in the second half.
Yeah, coming up on just about 10 seconds left to go. And that should, I believe that's going to be the final play here of the first half. The Yeoman will go into the locker room with a 14-8 lead here in Franklin. And it has been an interesting ride here in the first half. We'll join the Germania halftime report next.
This is the Germania Insurance Halftime Report, live from the stadium, brought to you by Lisa Roden, your Germania Insurance agent in Cameron.
Here to the press box in Franklin is right now a 14-8 lead for the Cameron Yeomen. We're going to, of course, have a chance to get all kinds of cool stuff here as part of our Germania halftime report. Driska, that was kind of an ugly final minute there.
Yeah, it was definitely an ugly final minute, but the good thing is that it didn't cost us anything. We didn't give up any points. We gave up a few yards, but what difference does it make in the grand scheme of things?
So we'll see the Yo Band here in just a few moments. Also, of course, here tonight, this has been, this has been a physical football game. It's if you're watching at home on the video stream, or if you've been sitting here in the stands, it doesn't look like a physical game, but it feels like it's taken a physical toll.
Well, and it's physical. It's in the aspect of it. It's physical between the tackles, which slot T type games are always that way. They're always physical between the tackles. It's not the open field NFL greatest hits type of physical play, that you think of. Ball game, because you see the big hits and the ooh, and the ones that make you go ooh and ah and that sort of thing, but it's very physical in between the tackles, and so that's where the physicality really has been in this ball game.
The Yeoman Band, of course, is taking the field. We'll get a chance to listen to them here as part of your Germania halftime report. The Yo Band performance, of course, will be provided by Ideal Poultry, who, of course, sponsor the Yo High School Marching Band. And always a big supporter of the Yo Band, athletics and academics. That's Ideal Poultry in Cameron. As always, a proud supporter of the award-winning Yo High School Band, the good folks at Ideal Poultry. So we'll have the band here in just a moment. One of the great treats, of course, listening to the Yo Band perform at halftime. I have the privilege, of course, of being at all of the games to get a chance to listen to it. Of course, a little bit different this year. Much smaller band, because the traveling restrictions mean you've only got about a quarter of your band here.
Yeah, I think we've got about 50 kids or so here tonight that play in the band. Whenever they're going road games, they take about half the kids every other road game. Just one of those things with restrictions because of COVID and everything. Try to get less people involved and that kind of thing, which is really anti to everything that we try to do with public secondary education. We try to provide as many opportunities for kids to be involved as possible, but with the restrictions of COVID and all, we're living in a little bit different time right now, and so it's definitely not a full squad of Yo Band, but I'm sure they'll do a great job anyway.
All right, well, let's take a listen into the Yo High School Marching Band, presented here on the Germania halftime report by Ideal Poultry.
You gotta feel my tonight.
Alrighty, there's your award-winning Yale High School band here tonight, as of course, as presented by Germania, on your Germania halftime show, is presented by Ideal Poultry in Cameron. Tell you what, let's step aside for a moment. We'll come back on the other side. We'll continue to break down what we've seen in the first half. We'll get Josh Pratt on board here, too, to discuss some of the stats that we saw. And that's coming up and much more here on the Germania Halftime Report. We're back in a moment.
It's a trust as true as Texas. A friend with a helping hand. When you want to ensure the good things in life, trust Germania.
Is your insurance company taking too big a bite out of your apple? When you're shopping for property insurance, think about coverage, service, and price. Make sure you're getting the most for your money. When you compare apples to apples, you'll see that Germania Insurance delivers outstanding value, competitive rates, flexible payment options, and discounts. Plus, Germania offers 24/7 customer claim service. Trusted by Texans since 1896. Don't give up service or sacrifice coverage. Compare apples to apples. Then choose the outstanding value offered by Germania Insurance.
So when you want to ensure the good things in life, trust Germania.
Call 697-4683 for Sharon Ruback, representative of Ruback Insurance and Germania Farm Mutual Companies.
Welcome back here to the Germania Halftime Report. As first half is in the books, and the Yeoman came out in front 14-8 here at halftime. So, Kenny, this is we're going to get to some stats in just a moment, but got to be happy with the result for so far, right? 14-8, you're up in front.
Yeah, the young defense has done a pretty good job of being out there on the field, a lot of plays and doing a lot of bending and not too much breaking. The old offense is still really trying to find its way. Haven't really thrown the ball very successfully tonight at all. Made a little bit of yardage, made a little bit of, on the ground. And a lot of that came on one big run play. You can't be disappointed when you're up, 14-8, and you're getting the ball to start the second half. But definitely still have some improvements to make.
All right, well, let's bring Josh Pratt on and get to some halftime stats. Your halftime stats with Josh are brought to you by A&R Cattle Company in Burlington. What you got, buddy?
All right, starting with the Yeoman here, 8 first downs in that first half, 1 through the air. Zane Zeinert was 2 of 9 passing with 1 interception for the 23 yards. Receiving-wise, Jaden Sanchez with that big catch there to lead the total yards, 1 for 19. On the ground, the Yeomen have 110 yards on 17 carries. Pharrell Hemphill had the big run, obviously, in the first half for the touchdown, 4 carries for 76 yards. Fabian Bynum, 7 carries for 30 yards. And Keyshawn Johnson, 3 carries for 8 yards, and the other lone score for the Yeomen. For Franklin, 7 first downs in the first half. Passing-wise, 0 for 1. On the ground, 30 carries for 140 yards. Seth Spiller doing most of the damage there, 16 carries right at 100 yards. Malcolm Murphy comes in with 7 carries for 35 yards.
All right, thanks, Josh. That is your halftime stats with Josh Pratt, brought to you by A&R Cattle Company in Burlington. One more thing. What was the play differential here between the two?
Right now we've got 31 plays for Franklin, 26 for the Yeomen.
It's actually come back more even.
Yeah, that last long drive that the Yeomen had really, kind of evened things up a little bit. But there at one point, I think they had run 30 offensive plays or so to our 10. And so, it was 3-1 there, which is not a good ratio for our young defenders to be out there on the field for. But, again, like I said, for the most part, they've done a pretty good job of bending but not breaking.
So when you look at this first half, I think obviously you've got to come away pleased. You're leading 14-8. Defensively, Cameron has played, I feel like, adequately.
Yeah, we really have for the most part. I would still like to kind of clean up the fact that they're able to make some big gains at times up the middle. I think the interior of our defense has got to stiffen up a little bit more. Again, that's when you have so much youth, those guys are, just physically not as mature as, some of the guys that are over on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And Franklin is known for having some big, strong offensive linemen anyway. But so far they've done a pretty good job.
Offensively, it's been, I would say, a mixed bag.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said a few minutes ago, we really haven't thrown the ball or caught it very well tonight. I'm not sure. I forget what Josh said, what our passing percentage is and stuff. But we really haven't been able to move the ball through the air much. We've been able to move it more, on the ground for the most part. With Bynum, kind of taking the majority of the load there, but it was nice to see Johnson come in and really exert himself as kind of that power back type situation there a couple of times late in that second quarter on that touchdown drive, pick up some key first downs and pick up the touchdown there whenever the defense was definitely stacked against him. So
one of the things we didn't get a chance to talk about in the pregame was that on the Franklin staff this year is a former Yo coach. Jace Raspberry is over there. That gives you a little bit of an advantage if you're the opponent, right? Because you have a guy who knows how Cameron works.
Yeah, nobody's going to know our personnel better than somebody that's, been on our staff, and so Coach Raspberry, was a very valuable coach in our system for many years here in Cameron and decided to move over to Franklin this year for a special teams coordinator position. And, he's a guy that, he knows everything we do on offense. He knows everything that we do on defense. And I know Coach Brashear talked about in the pregame show and in his coaches show this morning about how he feels like they've kind of employed a lot of our defensive stuff into their system over here, which is a little bit of a change for them. They're used to be a kind of a slanting 50 defense. And a lot of times you could kind of dictate what they were going to do on offense by how you set your formation. And so, but he is so familiar with everything that we do that that gives him a little bit of a knowledge advantage, especially when you look at the fact that we only traded one game film because they didn't get to play 2 games. So that might give them a little bit of an advantage there.
The other thing is, I feel like that could be a double-edged sword. I mean, if you're installing the defense that Cameron already runs, that gives you a pretty good idea of what certain plays are going to look like.
Yeah, you're right. And nobody knows themselves better than themselves. And so, if they're installing, kind of a defense very similar to what we run, then, we know what hurts us and we can, use that against them there.
So far, I would say running the football has actually been advantageous for Cameron so far here tonight. The passing game hasn't quite been there. We heard from Tommy Brashear earlier today that, you've got one lockdown corner for Franklin, and we've kind of seen that on Zachorian Spikes. He's kind of been matched up with him one-on-one. We haven't seen the ball thrown to Zachorian a whole lot.
Yeah, we had the third down play where we threw it to Zachorian and they actually intercepted the play, which, really worked in our favor. It was just like a punt at that point. But other than that, we really haven't targeted Zachorian much, kind of used him a little bit as a decoy, which, there's nothing wrong with that either. It's a team ball game. It's not an individual sport. There's 11 guys out there on offense, 11 guys out there on defense. And Zachorian, as good a player as he is, he's not the only player we've got out there.
It also just goes to show you also how important it is to not necessarily be one-dimensional, but be able to attack a defense from multiple directions.
Yeah, and and I talked about that a bit in the pregame, about how we're usually successful defensively whenever we play teams that are one-dimensional and we can force them out of their comfort zone. Well, I think one thing that we've done a good job of, and I think one thing that Coach Bashir wants to do is he wants to be really balanced. And I know I listened to Coach R.C. Slocum talk one time many years ago at a event I was at, and he talked about how when you put the ball in the air, a lot of bad things can happen. And so if you're able to run the ball and keep them on their heels that way, then more power to you. Nothing wrong with that. And there's going to be ball games down the road where we're going to need to be able to establish the run. And so teams like Troy and Rockdale and those teams, we're going to need to be able to establish the run. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with us being able to get that started here tonight.
Now, the takeaway that we have seen from the first half, of course, injuries sort of started to mount at one point, I guess. There was a couple times where the Yeomen had lengthy injury timeouts for players that were down, including one person who was carted off the field. When you look at that, it's easy to, as a team, potentially go, oh no, and potentially have a vacuum. But instead, the Yeomen turned that into something else and ended up marching down the field 14 plays, 69 yards or whatever it was for a touchdown.
Yeah, and I think, that's something we've always done here because just kind of a mentality is it's always going to be next man up, we still love you. We still want to involve you as much as we can, but we know we still have some ball game left to go, and so the next man's got to step up and fill that void and fill that gap and go out and do his part to make sure that we're successful as a unit. Like I said a minute ago, talking about Zachorian, it's not a one-man game, and so when we have somebody else that goes down, like Jacoby Bailey went down, obviously, earlier, and of course our thoughts and prayers are with him. I hope that he's going to be okay. We haven't had any reports yet back on him, but the next man's got to step up and fulfill that role, do the job.
I think that's a underrated aspect of what we're looking at with this football team, because they're growing up together. We've made, and this is week 3 now, we've made light, and each week it seems like that this is a very young football team. You've got 6 starters on defense that are sophomores. That was maybe a contributing factor, if you hear Coach Tommy Brashear tell it, to the loss last week, where inexperience, and our youth was maybe a little bit against us. But to see them bounce back after an injury like that, where somebody's carted off the field, one of your own players that you have been in the trenches with, that could be a shocking thing for a sophomore or a freshman to see. And then to regroup and then march down the field and have a drive like what you would see Franklin do. Lots of plays, lots of time, and lots of yardage ending in a touchdown is a huge boost as a morale aspect.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's you had that situation where one of your teammates goes down. You darn sure don't want to go 3 and out and give them the ball right back there, and them have another chance to go down and try to score again. But something we've always done here in Cameron, at least as long as I've been in the area, is they always run. Since I've been around, there's always been 3 teams at the high school. You always have a freshman team, a JV team, and a varsity team, and so you got those guys that a lot of places that are only going to run a JV and a varsity team, they're not going to keep a freshman team. A lot of those freshmen, they stand around the entire year, their freshman year, and so they don't get a lot of experience. And then their sophomores, if they're on the JV, well, then they're playing, or if they're on the varsity, then as a sophomore, they might be standing around, and so they're not getting reps, they're not getting experience. We always keep 3 teams here, no matter what, and we've had teams, that might only have, 17, 18 players on it, at some of the sub-varsity on, the JV or the freshman team. But those guys get so many snaps and so many reps and so much valuable experience by doing that when you have a situation like this on Friday night, that no matter what, if they're not the regular starter, if they're not the guy that gets all the snaps on, all the time, that they've had snaps, throughout their career that has prepared them for that situation.
Tell you what, let's take a break. We'll come back in just a moment, maybe try to dive into some halftime scores. What do you say?
Sounds great to me.
All right, we're back in just a moment here on the Germania Halftime Report.
It's a trust as true as Texas. a friend with a helping hand. When you want to ensure the good things in life, trust Germania.
Are you comparing apples to apples on your insurance coverage?
Apples to apples?
Yeah, like making sure you have a great rate and outstanding coverage.
My company says they have the lowest rates, but I'm not sure about coverage.
How about service? When you're shopping for property insurance, do you compare coverage, service, and price to make sure you're getting the most for your money?
I never thought to ask.
Well, Germania Insurance has been insuring Texans for over 100 years.
I do need to do some comparing.
Just make sure you're comparing apples to apples with the right coverage and outstanding rates for property, auto, and your family.
So when you want to ensure the good things in life, trust Germania.
Call 697-4683 for Sharon Ruback, representative of Ruback Insurance and Germania Farm Mutual Companies.
Welcome back here in Franklin from Lions Stadium at Hendrick Field. The Yeomen on top 14-8 here at halftime. Just about 5 minutes or so till we get to the second half kick alongside Kenny Driscoll, Brett Eberhardt here on KMIL. And let's get to some halftime scores and see what's going on around the area. What do you say?
Sure, sounds good. I'll just run through some that I've got on my app here.
Okay.
I got Stephenville over Salado, 31-19 at the half. Salado has, stepped up and really played some great opponents this season so far. China Spring looking to remain undefeated, up 35-7 in the third quarter over Brownwood. West, a team
not your daddy's Brownwood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not your daddy's Brownwood. That's right. West, a team that the Yeomen have seen a couple of times over the years in the playoffs, is up 14-7 over Blooming Grove at the start of the fourth quarter. Rogers, right up the road, who's 0-2, is looking to right the ship and is doing a good job of it right now. Looks like up 34-6 over Whitney in the third quarter. Academy, district opponent, looking to remain undefeated and go 3-0 as they lead Groesbeck 24-0 with just to start the third quarter. La Vega, who had a tough ball game against Connolly last week, biting off another one, up 14-13 over Corpus Christi Calallen. They're playing that game down in San Marcos. Lexington, who the Yeomen played next week, leading Rockdale at the half, 20-14, which I know that everybody in the area thought that would be a really good ball game.
Yeah.
Grandview, who defeated Salado last week, is up 34-0 over Godley. Troy is up 35-6 over Robinson. Robinson, it looks like they're struggling a little bit right now. Rosewood Lot looking to go to get them a win streak going for the first time in quite a while, up 27-0 over Texas Wind Homeschool. Madisonville up 14-7 over Teague at the half. McGregor up 35-20 over Gerald at the half. McGregor is a district opponent. Lago Vista, who the Yeomen were supposed to play in week 1 but couldn't because they weren't playing, are playing one of our district opponents in Caldwell. Lead Caldwell 14-0 at the half. Holland, which has been very strong here recently, is up 26-0 over Johnson City. Refugio was down 14-7 to Edna early, but has come back to take a 21-14 lead midway through the third quarter. Valley Mills is leading Marlin 21-12 at Marlin's halftime. Bremond is remaining strong at 37-0 lead over Milano about midway through the third quarter, and Centerville is leading Thorndale 16-14 about midway through the third quarter. Centerville was up 16-0, and Thorndale looks like they've tried to come back there. Just down the road, Buckholz is not faring very well tonight against Lomita, 62-16. And Lorena and Gatesville, district opponent Lorena, I think Gatesville, from some information I heard, found out they had a COVID positive player or situation anyway, sometime after 5 o'clock this evening. And so that game was canceled extremely late. I would assume whoever the visiting team was on that was probably already at the other team's stadium whenever they found out that information.
Yeah, that's fairly interesting. All right, tell you what, let's close up the Germania halftime report. We'll come back on the other side and get ready for our second half of football here on 105.1 The Ranch.
The
Germania Insurance Halftime Report. Game nights on KMIL during Cameron Yo football. The second half of tonight's game is next.
All right, welcome back to the start of our second half here, at least in just a moment. Yeoman waiting to come out of their tunnel. Same goes for the Franklin Lions. We're about a minute or two here from the second half kickoff, and we've got our second half coming up. And our third quarter is brought to you by Nacho in Texas, open Thursday through Saturday over at the Arlen's parking lot. So you get top-notch barbecue and quite possibly the best barbecue in Cameron, and the good folks, the Galvans over there, cooking up some serious eats. If you've not been over there, they are also the touchdown quarter sponsors. That means that if the Cameron Yeomen can score a touchdown in the third quarter, we'll give a 3-meat plate away to Etcho in Texas. First drawing name is Anisha Williams. Anisha Williams. If the Yeomen will score a touchdown here this upcoming third quarter, to Etcho in Texas. So Anisha Williams, you're on the clock as we get ready for a second half here tonight. The Yeomen leading 14-8. Here in Franklin, as we get ready for a second half that should see the Yeomen receive to start. They, of course, elected to defer until the second half. So 6-point lead right now for the Cameron Yeomen. Huddled around the midfield marker here near the Yo sideline, waving the Yo flag as they jump up and down. Definitely cooler tonight, though, as temps are starting to feel good.
Oh, absolutely perfect football weather. I don't know what the temperature is here tonight, but absolutely perfect football weather. I was telling somebody earlier today, I said, man, those junior high kids that played their first ball game last night, absolutely spoiled. They had no idea what that to go out and play in that first game and that heat is like.
Franklin Lions will be kicking off to start the second half. Our second half kickoff brought to you by Little River Event Center. That's a beautiful place, by the way. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah. Only pictures. I haven't been there. Just pictures online.
Incredible location, incredible venue. If you've not been there, go check it out. It's really cool. The Little River Event Center, they bring you the second half kickoff here. Again, the Yeomen will be set to receive, leading 14-8 as we get ready for our second half here tonight. You know, Kenny, the other morning, I think earlier this week, I can't remember what day it was, but obviously I go to work real early. When I went to work one morning.
Yeah. I stepped out and I was like, ooh, what's this all about?
Right? So there's a line drive kick. That's going to be angled towards the far sideline. It's near the 15-yard line up across the 20. And finally, going to be wrestled out of bounds near the 25-yard line.
Interesting kickoffs by the Lions, for sure.
So it looks like Yeomen will have the football at the 20. Wow. Two receivers off to the right side, one to the left. It's a twin back set for the Yeomen on 1st and 10. First play will be a keeper by the quarterback now. Sports out to the left side on his move. He's on his 40, the 45, 50, and then finally will be hit out of bounds and well out of bounds. And that is going to draw a penalty as Zeinert steps over a defender and back onto the field trying to get out of the way. And Zeinert with a strong run and then gets a penalty tacked on top.
You know, we've been really relying on our run game here, and so we faked the handoff to Bynum, and they bit on it, and Zane pulled it out of the belly there and took off through the line and made a couple of nice cuts, and then got a really good downfield block by Sanchez before being tackled out of bounds to tack on another 15 yards there. Great first play to open the second half for the Yeomen.
Yeah, just a 40-plus yard run and a huge play. And the quarterback, he took that, and, I mean, he made a strong run and then got extra help with a penalty that's going to be tacked on to the end. But it looks like we have a Franklin Lions player down.
Yeah, it's a young man that actually I think was the one that made the tackle. Yeah, that's one of their quarterbacks, number 15. Misplaced my program here, Brett.
Number 15 is Bryson Washington, sophomore. Yeah, he went down over here, and Zeidert kind of had to step over him after the tackle, which I guess was made late, out of bounds. Then a couple of his teammates trying to carry him about halfway across the field, it looked like. So after the 15-yard penalty on the late hit out of bounds, Cameron looking at excellent field position. They'll have the ball at the 30-yard line after a Centex Auto first down run by the quarterback, Zane Zeidert. So back to a twin back set. Two receivers to the short side of the field as the Yeomen are on the near hash. One man alone to the right. The direct snap to the tailback, but this ball, the snap was just kind of short, and the tailback fell on it. Luckily, the Yeomen still have it.
Yeah, I think we were going to try to run almost like a counter option play there, where we kind of fake the counter play and then run a speed option there, but the snap was low, and so never got the play off.
It's at 11:15 to go. Snap is good this time. It's going to be a handoff around the left side, bouncing around, loses the football, and it looks like the Yeomen will be able to recover, but Bynum having just kind of carrying that football loosely.
Yeah, number 64 there, Garfield England, falling on the ball to prevent the turnover. Bynum does a great job of fighting for extra yardage, but one thing I would like to see the young man do is kind of cover up the ball whenever he receives some contact.
So a 3rd down and 9 after the strong start to the drive, coming up on 10.5 minutes into our third quarter. A Yeoman lead, 14-8, again in a twin back set. This time Zeidert reads it, pulls it, and heads to his right. Spins out of one tackle, picks up nice yards, about 6. That's tough running right there.
Very similar play again to that first play that he ran there, where we're faking kind of the hand sweep, but he's reading it and holding it in the running back's belly there, and then when they commit to the running back, then he's pulling it and taking off up the line of scrimmage.
Coming up on 10 minutes to go here in the Etcho and Texas third quarter. Yeoman on top, 14-8. Ball at the Franklin 22-yard line, knocking on the door of the Bling Box Boutique red zone.
Big 4th down play here.
It is 4th and 3. The twin back set, Zeidert hands off around that right side, and it is going to be close. He is right near the first down marker, and it is enough for a Centex Auto first down, and also pushes the Yeoman into the Bling Box Boutique red zone. That's the Bling Box Boutique at 111 North Central, downtown Cameron. Check out their Facebook and just go say hi to the Renaults. Great folks that run that store over there, and one of the great all-around donors too, because they donate to everything.
Man, they are actually just fabulous people and great citizens to have here in Cameron, Texas.
Yeoman leading 14-8 on 1st and 10 after the Centex Auto first down. A quick slant over towards the right side, and that ball, I believe, is caught. That's going to be for a short gain to about a 2-yard catch.
Yeah, I think that was Zachorian Spikes on the little hitch pass there.
So they'll make it 3 yards. 2nd and 7 after the throw and catch to Spikes. Inside of 9 minutes left here in this Etcho and Texas third quarter. Here in the Bling Box Boutique red zone. On the snap, a handoff. Right up the middle he goes. Still on his feet and into the end zone. Touchdown, Yeoman.
Bynum got in behind the little fold block there between the guard and tackle and just, really kind of took off straight up through the line of scrimmage with a kind of bit of an intention that I hadn't seen him run with yet this year. It was really nice to see.
A 16-yard Bynum touchdown run, and the Yeomen extend their lead 20-8 with 8:45 on the clock, and we just gave away a 3-meat plate to Etcho in Texas. Got a Crier Collision extra point coming up now. There's the snap of the kick. That is up and through. The Crier Collision extra point is good. That's Crier Collision. You can find them at 3003 North Travis in Cameron, or call 697-2122. The Yeomen lead it 21-8 here in the Etcho and Texas third quarter. This is Yo Football at 105 on the Ranch.
Heating and air conditioning. We all expect it to work. When it doesn't, don't call any heating and AC company. Call Temple Heat and Air, your full-service AC and heating company. 254-771-1012. Locally owned and operated since 2001, you'll see the difference in their personalized, safe, and friendly service. As an American Standard and Lennox dealer, you'll get the right parts and service for the right system. Get same-day service and no surprises, plus great financing and discounts. When your system isn't working, call Temple Heat and Air, 254-771-1012.
We're drawing another name for our Etchua, Texas third quarter touchdown sponsor. The new name we've drawn now is Nene Morrison. Nene Morrison. So if the Yeoman can score another touchdown here this quarter, that's another 3B plate to Etcho in Texas. Congratulations to Anisha Williams, our first winner of the night. Got 8:45 on the clock here in the Etcho in Texas third quarter. Yeoman leading now 21-8. Let's get to your Don's Paint and Body scoring drive, as that's Don's Paint and Body. And the drive, 7 plays, 76 yards. Ends in a 16-yard touchdown run by Fabian Bynum. And the Yeomen now lead it 21-8.
And I'm still upset that I'm not eligible
to
win. So
sorry.
I guess I'll just have to use my debit card.
You should have read the fine print in your contract. Well, Yeoman getting ready to kick off now. It will be a high kick, angled towards the sideline. That's going to go out of bounds. I think the Yeomen have been penalized on kicking out of bounds more often than they have got any other penalty.
Yeah, that's definitely an area that we struggle. And we're trying to employ the angle kick there, a high angle kick to prevent a big return. But we obviously still need to polish that up a little bit as we, move closer to district play.
So Franklin Lions will take over. I think they're going to take the 5 yards and take the football after the kick out of bounds. So it'll be Franklin football from their own 30-yard line. There's 8:45 on the clock. Yeoman leading 21-8.
And now being up 2 scores, it's kind of like I was talking about earlier. If we can get up and dictate what they have to do, and the young Yeoman defense can kind of pin the ears back, we might be able to really put some hurt on the Lions.
With no wide receivers, we've got flags stopping this play. Would have been 1st and 10 from their own 30. That'll be a penalty against the Yeomen, a 5-yard variety. So from 1st and 5 from their own 35-yard line. Franklin Lions with it. Yeomen again out in front, 21-8 here in the second half.
Be a great time for the Yeoman defense to force a turnover here, Brett.
1st and 5. No wide receivers for the Lions. They set a man in motion. And then they pitch to the tailback. We're looking for some running room. He's got some down the sideline. He goes in across midfield and finally will go out of bounds after a nice long run.
Little dive option play there to the wide side of the field. Yeoman kind of lost contain a little bit, and Lions able to pick up a big first down.
So took it right to midfield before stepping out of bounds. So 1st and 10 from midfield, from the 50-yard line. This time handoff to the fullback, and he is going to rumble ahead. He's picking up nice yardage, still on his feet, finally goes down. That's going to be near the first down marker, about a yard shy.
Counterplay kind of caught us a little bit off guard there. I think we maybe misread some keys. Lions able to pick up a big gainer there on 1st down, move it to 2nd and short. Potential passing play for the Lions here.
On 2nd and 1, and this time we've got flags here.
It's going to be a false start on the Lions.
So with a false start against Franklin, that will back them up. So it went from 2nd and 1 to 2nd and 6. That'll help the Yo defense. 8:09 on the clock here in the Etcho in Texas third quarter. 2nd and 6 for the Lions. They come to the line here. Still in a bunch formation with no wide receivers. They'll hand off to an up back, and he is going to be drilled in the backfield. Back to the line of scrimmage is all he got with forward progress.
The big nose guard, Eduardo Gill, did a great job of stuffing that counterplay for no yardage, and the rest of the Yo defense, including Fabian Solomon, just came in and just polished the runner off.
So inside of 8 minutes to go here in the quarter. A 3rd down and 6 now for the Lions. They'll come to the line, facing 3rd down, and the fumble. Looked like the exchange between center and quarterback was not clear, and the Yeoman actually came up with a football.
Mishandled snap there by the Franklin quarterback, and the Yo defensive line over on that one side with Eduardo Gill and Keyshawn Johnson applying a lot of pressure against the Franklin offensive line, forcing the turnover.
Yeah, Johnson ends up jumping on top of the ball. This is not a clean snap from center to quarterback, and Johnson just happened to be underneath him. Ends up on the football. So a turnover for Franklin gives the Yeoman the football in excellent field position. 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Twin receivers to each side. Zeinert looking to throw. Rolls to his right. Sends one off. But that ball's incomplete. It was nearly caught. It was sort of knocked away as he was hit just about as soon as he caught it.
Yeah, Kason Goolsby on a little out pattern there. Zeinert tried to kind of dump it off to him quickly, and Franklin was right there to make the play.
Goolsby is one of those very young players that we've been talking about for 3 weeks now. He's just a freshman. That's a tough spot running across the formation because you're expecting it to get hit in the middle.
He comes from good stock, though, Brett. His daddy was a wide receiver for the state championship team that I coached on over in Rosebud Lot next door.
On a 2nd and 10, it's going to be a handoff, and that'll be about a 4-yard gain by Bynum. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6 for the Yeoman. Coming up on just about 7 minutes to go here in this Echo in Texas 3rd quarter. Yeoman have been methodical here since the second half started. Really, since the first quarter. Long drives, chewing up clock. Twin receivers to each side for Zeinert, looking to throw. To his right, he'll go. That ball caught near the sideline.
What the Yeomen are doing on that play there is they're taking Spikes and running him deep, and then Sanchez, who's in the slot, is coming in behind him and running an out pattern where Zakorian left, and Zane's doing a good job of getting the ball out there to him where he's able to pick up the 1st down.
So a Centex Auto 1st down gives the Yeomen a new set of downs. Going back to that twin back set, 2 receivers to the left side for Zeinert. And he'll hand this ball off, cutting upfield, looking for a blocker, and then finally goes down after a couple of yards.
Making the stop for Franklin, number 32, Kobe.
That's Hemphill in the backfield again. You know, the Yeoman early in the first 2 ball games, we've used Spikes in the backfield some, but it looks like they've changed it up a little bit tonight, using Hemphill in the backfield instead of Spikes.
Well, you mentioned at halftime, I mean, they've used Spikes almost a bit as a decoy tonight, going only really his direction once. 3 receivers off to the right side for Zeinert as the Yeoman move from right to left on the radio dial as he'll throw to his right. It's the bubble screen, and he's got a man. That is going to be one move there, and then across the 30-yard line. That's up near the 1st down marker. It should be enough for a Centex Auto 1st down.
And right on cue there, we throw it to Spikes on the bubble screen, and he turns a play that's pretty much nothing into a 10-yard gain and almost takes it all the way to the house.
That is what Spikes can do. The senior, an incredible athlete and a speedster to boot. He's got 3 receivers off to the right side, 2 to the left. Zeinert in an empty backfield. He's going to keep this ball, and it makes one move, jukes around another, then fights his way forward and dives, and he'll pick up nearly 10 yards. He did get 10 yards right to the nose, and it's another Centex Auto 1st down, and also will put the Yeoman inside the Bling Box Boutique red zone yet again. That's the Bling Box Boutique in 111 North Central downtown Cameron. Go check them out on Facebook and see all the cool things that they could do for you, and one of the homes of Yo Gear too. 5:41 on the clock. Yeoman leading 21-8. One man coming on late for Cameron here. It's going to be twin receivers to each side. One man in the backfield to Zeinert's left. He's looking to throw. Pumps once, now rolling to his right. He's got to let this one go, but that will be, I believe, incomplete.
Yeah, he was flushed from the pocket, and so he's forced to kind of throw the ball on the run there. Ended up throwing it a little bit low to Spikes.
5:22 on the clock after the incomplete pass. Yeoman out in front, 21-8 here in the third quarter. On the move, facing second down and 10. Trips to the left side. One man alone to the right. And Zeinert hands it off. Up the middle he goes. Squirts forward for 5 yards, maybe 6, 7.
And that was Bynum on the counter play there. We were pulling guard and tackle, but they kind of stuffed our linemen, and so he kind of ran where they left and made some nice yardage on the play.
That'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the offense here in the Blink Box Boutique red zone. Inside of 5 minutes to go in this Etcho and Texas third quarter. Yeoman leading 21-8. Trips to the left side. That's the wide side of the field. One man is alone to the right. Zeinert with one man in the backfield, taking his time. Inside of 10 seconds on the play clock, and he hands the ball off. No, he keeps it actually, and running around the right side, and he had nowhere to go. Stays inbounds and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And we were running that counter read play again, where again we pulled our backside, our right side guard and tackle, and they kind of got stuffed over on the left side of the line of scrimmage. And so instead of handing it to Bynum, he pulled it and tried to go over around the right side, but the right side or the actual defense's left defensive end did a great job of slow playing the play and forcing him out of bounds.
Looks like the Yeomen are going to bring the kicking unit out here. So a field goal attempt on 4th down and 3. There's the snap of the hold. There's a low line drive kick, but that is a good field goal. That's about a 30-yard field goal for the Yeomen. They extend the lead 24-8, 3:53 on the clock in the Etcho and Texas third quarter. You're listening to Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
With more than 100 years of serving Central Texas, Buckholz State Bank is all about you, the customer. Banking with a personal touch. That's what Buckholz Bank does best. At Buckholz State Bank, you're not just a number. Discover the difference. Stop in at any of their 3 locations and visit with a personal banker about becoming a valued customer. Because we care. Buckholz State Bank in Buckholz, Cameron Branch Buckholz State Bank, and Rogers Bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back here in Franklin. The Yeomen extend their lead 24-8 over the Franklin Lions. 3:53 on the clock left in this third quarter. A field goal means give away anything just yet. And it's a touchdown quarter, so waiting on a Yo touchdown for a chance to win some more food from Etcho in Texas. A 3-meat plate is on the line. We've already given away one of those here tonight. The Yeomen on top, though, 24-8 here over the Lions. Getting ready to kick off here. Get to our Don's Paint Body scoring drive in just a moment. 10 plays, 41 yards as the kickoff is going to be a short pooch kick angle towards the sideline. He's going to drop it and then go out of bounds.
And I'm not sure if that one would have stayed in bounds or not, but I tell you, Jaden Sanchez doing an outstanding job of pursuing that ball. And if it was to stay in bounds and that young man didn't field it, Jaden was going to have a great chance to recover that pooch kick there.
So 3:51 is what's left here in this Etcho in Texas third quarter. Yeomen out in front 24-8. 1st and 10 coming up for the Lions. They have the ball at their own 26-yard line. Yeomen would appear to have Franklin right where they want them. A slot T team playing behind by 2 scores. And they'll pitch around the left side, looking to cut upfield. Now tries to bounce it around the edge, and then he slips and falls. I think he got some help from a Yo defender, too.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was on that tackle, if that was Sanchez.
It looks like he may have
injured himself. He's coming out here, so we got number 9, Kason Goolsby, going in to give him a spell.
So 3:36 on the clock as Sanchez comes off. Lions will come to the line, facing second down and 9. Just a yard gain on that last run, and this time they'll hand off up the middle and still fighting forward, and that is a tough runner. I mean, he picked up about 4 or 5 yards there.
Yeah, you got Solomon and Barbo and Trenton Nix in on the tackle for the Yeomen there.
Seth Spiller was on the carry, and he has just been a tough man to bring down.
Good, strong runner.
3rd down and 4 here for the Lions. Inside of 3 minutes left. Handoff up the middle, but not picking up a whole lot of yards. I think he got a yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, kind of a wing sweep or wing trap type play, rather, there. And the sophomore outside linebacker, Landon Green, did a great job of staying home and making the solo tackle there.
Let's get you a quick McElrath Motors stat update. 74 yards from Seth Spiller on 14 carries. He has been hard to bring down. That is your McElrath Motors stat update here at this time. Go see Ned and Joey over there at McElrath Motors. Has a punt attempt coming up by Franklin. They're going to rugby-style punt this thing, and it's going to be a wobbly one that's going to be fielded at about the 32-yard line. Makes the first man miss and then dives across the 40 where he goes down. And flags now coming in.
Yeah, I think the defender got a little rough with Kaysen on the tackle there. Kind of pushed him down into the turf as he was getting up, and so I don't think the referee liked that. May gave him an unsportsmanlike call.
Looked like it would be football right around the 40-yard line. Let's get you another McElrath Motors stat update. Zeinert, 5 completions on 14 attempts for 44 yards, no touchdowns. He also has 7 carries, 44 yards. And Fabian Bynum, 13 carries, 61 yards, 1 touchdown. Pharrell Hemphill, 5 for 78 and a score. And those are some quick updates on stats brought to you by McElrath Motors. Call Ed and Joey 697-4655. They can find the perfect vehicle for you. Well, after a major penalty and a mistake by Franklin, the football is going to be on the Franklin side of the field. They'll have it at the Franklin 44-yard line, 1st and 10. 2:08 on the clock as they take over here. Moving right to left here, the Etcho, Texas 3rd quarter. Yeoman out in front, 24-8.
This would be a time where I might take an opportunity to try to go deep, try to kind of just bury the Lions.
3 receivers to the left for Zeinert, 1 man alone to the right. He's looking to throw, looks to his right, he's going to go deep. He's got a man streaking down the sideline, and he's caught. That is up across the 10-yard line. That is a huge play. And it gets the Yeoman inside the Bling Box Boutique red zone, and a huge completion.
Great throw by Zeinert to Spike's outside shoulder over the top, and great catch by Spikes, and was almost able to tightrope it all the way down the sideline. Just went out at the 10.
Yeah, puts the ball at the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Yeoman inside the Bling Box red zone. 1st and goal from the 10. 2 receivers to each side, 1 man in the backfield. 2:01 on the clock. Zeinert takes a snap. He's looking to throw. Looking for the corner of the end zone, but he overthrew.
Kind of ran a little bit of a X stunt with the receivers over here on the left side and tried to get Randy Flores in the corner of the end zone. Overthrew him a little bit.
So a 2nd down and 10, or 2nd and goal anyway, for the Camarillo offense here. 1:56 on the clock. Yeoman knocking on the door. Again, deep inside the Bling Box Boutique red zone.
It was like Yeoman substituting kind of their heavy set. They got a tight end and 2 backs in the backfield, including Big Johnson.
And Nene Morrison is the contestant for free barbecue. It's going to be a direct snap to the tailback. He's going to burst forward up inside the 5, and he is going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Yeoman.
Nice little hand sweep to Fabian Bynum there.
So a 10-yard carry by Bynum puts the Yeoman on top now 30-8 with a Cryer Collision extra point coming up, but it also gives away barbecue. We'll talk about that in a moment. Here's the snap and the kick. That is up and through. Your Cryer Collision extra point is good. That's for all your auto body repair needs. Cryer Collision is 254-697-2122. Yeoman out in front, 31-8. Here are the Etcho, Texas 3rd quarter. This is Yo Football at 105 on the Ranch.
Standards Home Health and Hospice knows that it can be difficult to make the decisions to receive in-home health care for yourself or a loved one. But when home health or hospice care is needed, know that the caring nurses and staff of Standards Home Health will be there for you. From in-home consultations to hospice care, their goal is to provide personalized service with care from the heart. Make the call today to Standards Home Health and Hospice. 1-888-671-7007. 1-888-671-7007.
Back here in Franklin, the Yeomen have extended the lead 31-8 with 1:46 to go on the third quarter clock. And let's get to the Don's Paint and Body scoring drive. That's taking the dents out of accidents. Don's Paint and Body, 697-20-11. It ends up 3 plays, 60 yards. It ends on a 10-yard run by Bynum, the tailback, getting that one in from 10 yards out. And Yeoman kicked the extra point, and it's now 31-8. Yeoman out in front. We also ended up giving away another 3-name plate to Etcho, Texas. Nene Morrison was the winner. So we'll draw another name with just 1:46 left to go. But if the Yeoman could do it, that would be a third barbecue plate. Connie Oges would be our next contestant as the Yeoman kick this ball off again, angling towards the sideline. That's deep into the bench, and that is going to be drawing a penalty.
Yeah, that one almost hit the track. That was a little bit wide on the angle kick. The ball boy, Kelton Driscoll, had to go across all the way out to lane 8 to get it.
That's a name that sounds familiar.
Yeah. I think I know that kid.
Do you?
Yeah.
So penalty will be assessed against the Yeoman. Franklin will take it with a 5-yard penalty, and that will give them the football at their own 40-yard line, facing a 1st and 10. Yeoman out in front, 31-8. You really got to like where Cameron is sitting right now if you're a Yo fan.
Definitely. I'm rooting for a turnover, a defensive score here so Taney Oges can get her some barbecue as well.
So Lions with 2 receivers off to the left side looking to throw. They'll let one fly. That is going to be a long throw, but that is going to be incomplete. And now we've got a penalty in the backfield.
I think we may have roughed the passer after he released the ball there. I think we might have played a little bit too long in the backfield.
Will be roughing the passer against the Cameron Yeoman, so that will be a big penalty. That'll push Franklin into the Yo side of the field from the Yo 45-yard line after a 15-yard penalty. So from the Cameron 45, 1:39 on the clock left here in this Etcho, Texas third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Currently in the huddle are Franklin.
Coach Bashir is expressing a little bit of displeasure with the call there.
And so now Franklin will come to the line. Under center with one wide receiver to the left. And now rolling to his left. Looking for something. Breaks out of 1 tackle, but he won't get away from the second. Goes down for a loss of 3.
Armando Reyes and Fabian Solomon with a combined sack there, both applying some big-time pressure in the backfield against the line quarterback.
Yeah. Marcus Wade rolled out to his left, and he had just nowhere to go, nor did he have time to look to throw anything if he was going to.
Kind of what I talked about in the pregame, son, here. If we can force them into doing what they don't want to do, we can be successful.
Handoff here coming around the right edge. Steps out of 1 tackle, but then he's going to be wrapped up, and a pile is going to be driven forward for an extra 3 or 4 yards, and that'll be close to the 1st down marker.
I tell you, that Malcolm Murphy, the junior tailback for the Lions, is a very talented young player.
I think we have a player down. That is a Yeoman who's down. Everybody will take a knee. Again, this has turned out to be what appears to be a physical football game, in the trenches especially.
Definitely, yeah. And that's the thing about the slot T offense and games that are played like that. The game, it's extremely physical between the tackles.
Yeoman are leading this football game 31-8. A 2nd down and 13 would be coming up for the Franklin Lions. And in an injury timeout here presently, but it looks like he'll be coming off the field, walking gingerly. And that's a key cog on the defensive line, too.
Yeah, but he's walking off under his own power. Feel good that he might just got a little shaken up. There's something there, or something got a little twisted up. I think he'll be back in the ballgame before long.
So Gill comes off after the injury timeout. We did have a penalty. Actually, it's going to back up Franklin. They'll face second down and 16.
After the 10-yard penalty, it'll bring up second down and 16 for the Lions.
So from their own 49-yard line, they've gone back and forth across midfield a couple of times here. Clock is rolling inside of 40 seconds to go before our fourth quarter. And a handoff as that is Spiller, who spins around and picks up 6 yards. Gets back to about the original line of scrimmage, maybe just shy of that.
But when you have an offense that's designed to get 6 yards, when you're sitting at 2nd and 16, that's not a real great play.
Third down and 11 is coming up here. It looks like Franklin's going to try to get one more in before the end of the quarter. There's the snap, and they'll hand off, and Spiller again on a carry, but he's got nowhere to go. Picked up 2 yards, and that will be the final play of the Etcho and Texas third quarter. We did manage to give away some 3-meat plates, though. Congratulations to our 2 winners. The 3-meat plates to Etcho and Texas. That's going to be the end of our third quarter. Yeoman out in front, 31-8. We head to the fourth. Next, this is Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
So you're feeling out of alignment. Don't ignore the signs and think maybe they'll go away. Head straight to Just Chiropractic in Temple and see Dr. Barbara Proctor. With over 20 years experience, she'll get you adjusted and on your way with no hassles, contracts, or startup costs. Just Chiropractic is the home of the affordable adjustment, offering $20 final adjustments anytime. No appointments necessary and no insurance needed. It's Just Chiropractic, located at 1915 West Avenue in Temple, or call 254-791-5045.
Start of our fourth quarter now here from Franklin. Our fourth quarter brought to you by the Yo Athletic Booster Club, supporting the Cameron Yeoman both on and off the field. And you can become a member as well and join the Booster Club. They meet at Mondays at 7 o'clock. Where are they at these days?
Still meeting right now at the Cameron Country Club. We didn't actually meet this past week because of Labor Day holiday on Monday, but meeting will be this Monday at 7 p.m. at the Cameron Country Club.
Well, we start our fourth quarter. Yeoman out in front, 31-8. The Yo High cheerleaders throwing gifts out to the fans. We've got a pretty good crowd here.
Yeah, we have a decent little crowd here. I would say it's capacity for what is allowed.
I would say we even maybe outnumber the Franklin fans.
It's hard to tell. They've got a lot of stands over there on that side.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
So, fourth down and 9 coming up for Franklin. Here as we start the fourth quarter. They've got a shotgun set. Bad snap. It's going to be picked off the ground. They're going to lateral it and then throw, and that is going to be caught. Flags come out, but a little trick play. Actually, that was intercepted. Yeoman actually ended up with a football. Jaden Sanchez came out of the bottom of the pile and ends up with an interception.
I think the flag is going to be lineman downfield from where the flag was thrown. I'm not exactly sure yet. But that play almost looked like a 6-man play, where they snapped the ball to the quarterback and he pitched it to a guy real quick, and
Yeah, they called in eligible downfield, but it's going to end up as a turnover. By the way, there's some fire on the far sideline. For those of you,
I looked up and saw smoke, and it kind of scared me for a second. I saw the twirlers are twirling fire batons.
Yes, they are. On the sideline, same thing. I saw smoke, and I'm like, what is going on? Anyway, 11:50 to go here as we continue on in our fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for the Yeoman after the turnover. Handoff around the left side. Tries to spin out of a tackle, but the arm tackle will hold him, and he'll go down for about a yard gain.
Yeah, just Fabian Bynum just on the kind of the zone play there. All the linemen kind of just take off in that direction, just blocking that direction, and he's going to go that direction and kind of look for a gap or a seam to cut back into.
Inside of 11 and a half minutes to go in this ball game. Yeoman in front, 31-8 over the Franklin Lions. Yo football, 2nd and 9 from their own 39. Moving left to right on the radio dial now. Twin receivers to the left side for Zidert, who hands the ball off. Tries to bounce around the right side, and he does. Finds a little bit of running room. Tries to find one more edge, but can't find it. And he'll go out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain. So a 3rd down, and
I think we've got a Lion down here on the sideline. Again, it's the sophomore quarterback that also plays free safety for him, Bryson Washington.
So another injury timeout here, but a 3rd down and about 4.
You know, Brett, I don't normally notice anything that goes on outside of the lines of the football field during the game, but that smoke, something about that smoke caught my eye, and then I just look up and see the batons on fire twirling definitely drew my attention there.
Yeah, kind of cool though, right?
Yeah, it is very cool.
I will give props to Franklin for that. That's cool.
It looks dangerous though. It doesn't look like
a little bit.
you know, I'm glad my daughter's not a Franklin Lion twirler, because I don't want her playing with fire like that.
Oh, come on. It's got to be safe.
Man, my grandpa told me when I was a little kid, you play with fire, you're going to pee the bed. And so I'm going to leave that alone.
All right. That's fair enough. Let's see. 8 is the score again. We've got an injury timeout here. Is a Franklin Lion down here on the near sideline. That's the Cameron sideline. And that is young number 15. That's Bryson Washington, the sophomore quarterback and free safety. He is going to be able to walk off under his own power, now jogging off, and that's a good sign for the Franklin Lions.
Yeah, you never want to see a young man get hurt, no matter whether he's from your team or the opponent. So
10:53 is what's left of this ball game. Yeoman in front, 31-8. It is Yo football facing 3rd and 4. Moving from left to right here across the radio dial. Yeoman on their own 44-yard line. Two receivers to the left side for Zidert. He's got one man in the backfield. That's who he's going to pull it back and keep it. Zidert up across midfield, still on his feet to the 45, and then finally just kind of folds up and goes down.
Yeah, he's taking that handoff to the running back and drawing the Franklin defenders, and then he's able to get in behind a couple of big offensive linemen and make some nice yardage there.
Coming up on 10 and a half minutes to go. So Zidert being able to run is an aspect, I feel like, of the offense we haven't seen in several years.
Yeah, you know, that was never really in any part of Coach Rhodes' offense that he ran, and that's something I think that Coach Zidert has brought to the Yo offense.
After the Centex Auto first down, Zidert looking to throw, looking for spikes down the sideline. That ball is caught inside the 20-yard line. That'll be down at the 11. And one over-the-shoulder catch by Zachariah Spike.
Any better on that play, Brett. But Zane put it in the perfect spot, and Spike's he's got such great concentration when he's out there running his route that just able to haul in the pass for the nice big play.
So the Yeoman inside the Bling Box Boutique red zone from their Franklin 11-yard line. 1st and 10. Trips off to the left side. Zidert looking that direction for the screen. He's got his man. That ball is going to be caught, and then he will fight his way forward inside the 10-yard line to the 9.
Yeah, a little wide receiver screen, tunnel screen to Nolan Brashear there.
And 8 to go from the 9-yard line. Yeoman out in front, 31-8. Side 9 minutes and 20 seconds left here in this ball game. Two receivers off to that left side. Zidert looking to keep, looking for his left side, and goes down immediately. He may have lost a yard.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he tripped or slipped. Potential to make some nice yards there. Had big number 7 ground.
Well, it's going to be 3rd down and 9. Yeoman can still get a first down as they are at the 3rd and 8 from the 9-yard.
Slant play from Zeinert to Spikes there and put it right where it needs to be. And great catch by Zikorian to get himself in the scorebook tonight.
That puts Yeoman on the board again. 37-8 is the new score, and now an extra point try coming. Brought to you by Cryer Collision. Snap. It was high. There's the kick. That is going to be blocked. And the Yeoman will have the extra point. No good. That is your extra point attempt. Brought to you by Cryer Collision. Call 697-2122 or stop by 3003 North Travis and Cameron. That's Cryer Collision. Yeoman's new score, 37-8. They're up on the Lions. 8.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Brought to you by the Yo Athletic Booster Club. We're back in just a moment.
A night under the stars in Huge Live Oaks. Craft beers and award-winning wines or casual dining in a beautifully restored historic home for upscale food. But wait, what if you could have both? You can at Central Avenue Bistro in the historic Lawrence Hubert House at 312 North Central Avenue in Cameron. Come see what is new and old all over again. Patio or inside dining for dinner Thursday through Saturday, 5 to 10 p.m. For info or to schedule a private party, call 254-627-0083 or check their Facebook page.
Back here in Franklin, the Yeomen have extended their lead now, 37-8 here over the Franklin Lions. Let's get to your Don's Paint and Body scoring drive. That's Don's Paint and Body. Go contact Don Unick over there. He takes dents out of accidents with a ton of experience, too. He's been doing that for more than 20 years. The Yeomen go 7 plays, 62 yards. They end up converting on a touchdown thanks to a catch and run by Zikorian Spikes for 9 yards. The Yeomen now extending their lead 37-8. The extra point try was no good, blocked by the Franklin Lions. So 37-8 is where we stand. 8:30. Lions Stadium and Hendrick Field. And a high pooch kick. That'll be fair caught by the Franklin Lions inside the 30-yard line.
And that's exactly what we're trying to force with that high pooch kick at an angle right there. And so finally we've got it executed perfectly.
So 37-8 front here.
No, Brett, it's absolutely beautiful facility they've got here in Franklin with the field house in the end zone and scoreboard in the other end zone, rock wall around the track, turf field with the alternating colors, press box on both sides. Very different than it was back in the late 80s whenever I played here and they had a tree hanging over with the goalpost.
Right there, a 9-yard carry.
And Armando Reyes to finally get him down. This Franklin team's got a lot of weapons.
First and 10 for the Lions from their own 46. Inside 7:40 left in the ball game. Lions come to the line on first and 10. They're going to pitch it back to the left side. He'll cut upfield. Across midfield he goes.
Ran the dive option and cut it back towards the inside where Trenton Nix was able to put a good lick on him. Some help from a couple other Yeomen to get him down on the ground.
Second down and 4, or actually second and 5 for the Lions from their own, from the 49-yard line. But just across midfield. Less than 7 minutes left in the ball game. Yeomen leading 37-8. A pitch around the right side this time as Steven Hidrogo picks up a couple of yards there. Brings up a third down and short. A third and about 3. From the Yo 47-yard line on 3rd and 3. Handoff right up the middle, and he has got some running room. Picks up chunks of yardage. Dives up near the 30-yard line. He'll have it at the 32. The Franklin Lions with a first down. And a Yeoman is down. So another player down here for the Yeoman.
I think is that Solomon? Fabian Solomon, linebacker? Yeah.
Yep, Fabian Solomon. So with 6:19 on the clock and a Yo player down, we're going to step aside here for the injury timeout. We will be back here shortly. You're listening to Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
At Milam County Livestock Auction, our goal is to provide the best market environment for both buyers and sellers. Located in Cameron, we're right in the heart of Central Texas, which allows us to service customers from all over the state. I'm Kenan Mingus, and I invite you to join our team every Friday at noon for our weekly sale. You can reach us at 254-697-6697. Check us out on Facebook or at MilamCountyLivestockAuction.com. We look forward to seeing you this Friday at Milam County Livestock Auction. Sale starts at noon.
All right, coming back out of the injury timeout, Fabian Solomon is gingerly coming off the field here as he will be limping off after the injury there. 6:19 is what's on the clock. Franklin football here. It's 1st and 10 for the Lions. They've got it at the Yo 32-yard line. Cameron on top in this one, 37-8. Clock will start running. Lions come to the line. Handoff right up the middle. Spiller looking and still plowing forward, and now eventually brought down after about a 10-yard run.
I tell you, that guy's really good, Brett. And that Franklin offensive line, they're not giving up. The Franklin Lions are not giving up. Down 37-8 here with just 6 minutes to go. Probably an insurmountable lead, but they're not quitting. That's for sure.
Inside of 6 minutes left in the ball game is Franklin. Hands pitches to the right side, looking for running room around the edge. Not going to find a lot of that. Picks up about 3 yards. Murphy's got some speed, but trying to outrun the Yo defense may not be the wisest thing.
Yeah, like I said in the pregame, we usually do pretty well if they're going side to side.
2nd down and 6. Franklin pitching to the left side this time, and he will be wrestled down. I believe that was Parker Boyette.
And that was number 18, Martin Castro, in on the tackle for the Yeoman.
So a 3rd down coming up for the Lions. 3rd and 5. Inside of 5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Yeoman leading 37-8 here in Franklin. One wide receiver alone to the right for the Lions. Quarterback hands this ball off, looking for running room up the right side, and this time no running room at all. Got maybe a yard out of it. It'll be 4th down and about 4.
And that was Eduardo Gill kind of putting a punishing blow on him there to finish off the play. Be nice for Yo defense to get a stop right here on 4th down, take over, and get a couple first downs and get out of this ball game with a win.
So 4 coming up on just about 4 minutes left in the ball game. Yeoman out in front. It's 4th and 4 here for the Lions. From the usual bunch set, and a penalty flag is going to stop this. It looked like the Lions made a false start.
Yeah, their right guard got off a good full count early. The play was on 2, and he went on 1.
4:02 is what's on the clock left in this ball game. Yeoman leading 37-8. Lions facing 4th down and 8 now after the penalty.
Yeoman defense getting some subs in the game, getting some guys some playing time. DeMontre Jackson in there at the nose guard position. Big young man.
So 4th and 8 from the 20-yard line. one receiver for the Lions, but they're going to hand this ball off around the left edge. And he is not going to get anywhere near the first down line as he kicked up about 3 yards and goes down, and that will be a turnover on downs. And now you've got the situation you were hoping for, Kenny.
Yeah, I think the young man might have got the breath knocked out of him there. He's still down on the field, so.
That he is. You got a man down for Franklin. The doc out checking on him. Helmet of ball taking a knee. This young Lions player down over here near the Yo sideline. We've had several injury timeouts here. .347 what's on the clock. Yeoman out in front right now, 37-8. We'll take a 30-second timeout here. We'll come back in just a moment. You're listening to Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
You've been doing something with satisfied customers since 1984. You've been doing something right. I'm Jason Donalik, and that's the story of Edco Development, providing quality new construction, remodeling, and roofing with complete customer satisfaction. We have the knowledge and experience to get the job done right the first time, and are a proud member of the Better Business Bureau. Start your building project by calling Edco Development at 254-697-2186. That's 254-697-2186.
All right, welcome back here in Franklin. Tell you what, we still have a player down here for the Lions. Driska, you got the scoreboard handy?
Yeah, I can pull that up right quick here. Game of note kind of in Central Texas. Salado team that, kind of put it on Troy a couple weeks ago and then fell to Grandview last week. Up big, 48-38 over Stephenville with 11:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Our neighbors just across the river down by a score, 35-28 to Lexington, our opponent next week.
Wow.
So we'll have we'll have our work cut out for us next week. Rosebud Lot next, kind of the other direction from us there. On a big roll tonight over Texas Wind Homeschool, up 60-0 with 11.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. McGregor, one of our district opponents, up 49-35 over Gerald with 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Valley Mills taking out Marlin 35-20 on Marlin's homecoming. China Spring took out Brownwood tonight, not your father's Brownwood, 35-14. West defeated Blooming Grove 28-7. Rogers got their first win of the season, big win, 47-12 over Whitney, who won big over Robinson last week, 41-0. So that's a good win for the Rogers Eagles right there, 47-12 over Whitney. Academy Bumblebees stay undefeated on the year, 45-0 win over the Groesbeck Goats. Lorena and Gatesville again didn't get to play because the game got canceled sometime after 5 o'clock due to COVID issues. Looks like La Vega held on and beat Corpus Christi Cal Allen down in San Marcos 21-13. Grandview, team that we've seen several times over the years, defeated Godley this evening at Godley 41-7. Zach Herbachik over in Troy had another big tonight. I think he scored 6 touchdowns in a 48-6 win over Robinson. I think that avenges their only regular season loss from the season from last year, if I'm not mistaken. Madisonville, team that the Yeoman scrimmaged, over Teague tonight, 24-7. Lago Vista shuts out our district opponent Caldwell, 20-0. Holland takes out Johnson City, 41-0. Porfirio comes back and big over Edna, 42-21. Bremont blows out Milano, 43-0. Centerville holds on and goes out over Thorndale, 30-14. And locally, you got Buckholz falling to Lomita in the 6-man ranks, 62-16. And game of note for tomorrow, you got Mart, who is 0-2 on the season after winning 2 or 3 state championships in a row, hosting Anahuac. No, not hosting. I think that game is maybe at Madisonville, but they're hosting Anahuac from down near the coast tomorrow afternoon in a 2:00 afternoon Saturday afternoon game. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's Anahuac's first game of the season. I think they got delayed a little bit because of the hurricanes and that kind of stuff that was going on down there.
I believe we are going to have our second player carted off the field here tonight. The paramedics just wheeled the stretcher out on the track, but they have not made a move towards the field just yet.
And they're on the field house end, and the young man is down on the field on the scoreboard end, which is the opposite end of the field. So
referees did clear the field. The Yeomen were huddled right around where the 30-yard mark is on the field. Referees made everybody leave, and they had a coach go down and kind of alert the paramedics. They're now walking down this direction with the wheeled stretcher, so I think we're going to see another player. The good news is I have seen this young man with some movement. The arms have been moving. I've seen him movement. Movement is good. And the paramedics working their way down this way. So I tell you what, let's step aside once again as an injury timeout here in Franklin. The Yeomen leading 37-8. There's just 3:47 left in this ball game. You're listening to Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
There's something in your home's air this fall. Feel it? It's the perfect air that comes from reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. There are savings in the air, too. Cox's Heating and AC is offering $13.50 in rebates, plus payments as low as $132 a month on a new Lennox system. To rethink your air and learn more, call Cox's Heating and AC, 254-697-4252. For great products, big savings, and perfect air, think Cox's Heating and AC, your local Lennox dealer. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number TACL B009432E.
There are 3 companies in the U.S. who keep reports on your credit: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Each gives you a score according to their report, and in many instances determines if credit will be available to you. You can get a free copy of your credit report from each reporting agency through www.annualcreditreport.com. It's important to know the score. Citizens National Bank, member FDIC, rated one of the nation's strongest banks.
In sports, as in cars, everyone loves a great drive. Centex Auto is dedicated to bringing you a great drive every single time you get in the car. Whether you're listening to the game or you're behind the wheel, when you need a car, go to the Buy Here, Pay Here dealer, Centex Auto. Check out both locations in Temple or visit them online at centex-auto.com. As you listen in on this great drive, remember that Centex Auto is a proud supporter of all Central Texas athletes.
Legacy Nursing and Rehabilitation, located at 2202 North Travis in Cameron, is proud to back the Fighting Cameron Yeomen in 2020. Good luck to all Yo and Lady Yo athletes, trainers, coaches, cheerleaders, Bell Brigade, and that award-winning Yo High Band. Most people have a story to tell. Yo Nation has a legend. Legacy Nursing and Rehabilitation is proud to say,
Heating and air conditioning. We all expect it to work. When it doesn't, don't call any heating and AC company. Call Temple Heat and Air, your full-service AC and heating company. 254-771-1012. Locally owned and operated since 2001, you'll see the difference in their personalized, safe, and friendly service. As an American Standard and Lennox dealer, you'll get the right parts and service for the right system. Get same-day service and no surprises, plus great financing and discounts. When your system isn't working, call Temple Heat and Air, 254-771-1012.
News here in Franklin. The young man is now on his feet. Did not require the stretcher. And that is number 24, Malcolm Murphy, who has been a key cog offensively and defensively.
Pretty electrifying runner when he gets the ball in his hands, that's for sure.
Walking slowly off the field.
I think he's the young man that they've been using to cover Zakorian defensively. Of course, with 3:47 left in the ball game, I think we're going to do everything we can to just kind of finish the ball game out and get out of here with this win.
That's what you would think. Yeoman out in front, 37-8 as we come out of the injury timeout. Again, a Franklin player was down for a while there, but they had called the paramedics down but did not use them as the player was able eventually to get up and walk his way off the field. So with 3:47 left in the ball game, Yeoman out in front, leading 37-8 here. It is a first down and 10 for the Yo offense. And
we got the young power back Keyshawn Johnson in the ball game.
Franklin had just ended their drive on a turnover on downs, at which point a young man was injured. And now the Yeoman will have their chance here to try to run out some clock. And a handoff. Johnson up the middle, spins out of one tackle, now fighting his way forward, gang tackled, and they'll stop this one at about the 25-yard line. Be second and short, second and 2.
36, Keyshawn Johnson on the carry.
And I believe, Ryan Muniz actually checked in at quarterback for the Yeoman here, finish out the ball game.
So new quarterback going to take some snaps. Twin receivers off to the left side for Muniz. And this time instead we'll have the play stopped.
Ian Duffy's also checked in at the tight end position for the Yeoman.
3:04 on the clock. That's what's left here. And we are seeing lots of replacements getting some time on the field. Considering the injuries we've seen, I think that's the smart move.
Oh, for sure.
Clock inside of 3 minutes now to go in the ball game. As Muniz hands off. Johnson straight ahead like a shot out of a cannon. He's up to near the 30-yard line. About the 29.
Pick up a Yeoman first down. Probably need maybe one more to get out of this ball game.
It looked like Johnson showed a nice burst there from the sophomore. He shot through the hole.
Yeah, he hadn't played a whole lot on the offensive side of the ball tonight, but he's been playing a 5 technique on the defensive side of the ball pretty much almost all ball game.
Inside 2.5 minutes left in the ball game. Yeoman leading 37-8 over the Franklin Lions. Muniz takes a snap and hands off again. Johnson around the left side, rumbling around, and picks up nice yardage up across the 40-yard line before finally going out. That's a Centex Auto first down. First and 10 for the Yeoman from the 42-yard line. Their own 42. Just about 2 minutes left in the ball game. Yeoman looking for what appears to be an impressive win over Franklin in Franklin. Inside 1:45 left to go. On first down for the Yeoman, backing up. They may run out of time here before the play gets off. And it is going to be, should be a penalty. Should have been a penalty. Instead, the clock kept going. And they'll hand it off, and that's going to be about an 8-yard run. But that was about 3 seconds after the clock struck 0 on the play clock.
That's good refereeing there, Brett. No reason to stop the clock at this point if you don't have to. Allow the play to just go ahead and go on, and 1 or 2 more plays and we'll be out of this thing. Nice run there by reserve Ian Duffy, though.
Just about a minute to go now. Second down and 2 from midfield for the Yeoman. Just looking to run some clock here. Continues to wait, now takes a snap, hands off up the middle, and fighting forward now, getting a push from behind, and get enough for a Centex Auto first down, and it puts the Yeoman at the Franklin 45-yard line. Inside of 40 seconds left to go.
One more snap and we'll be done.
Number 62, DJ Jones.
I think we ought to see the victory formation here. You'd think.
I don't think so. I think looks like we might try to get one more think we're trying to get a few kids some carries and things here that don't normally get a chance to touch the ball.
Yeah, just about 10 seconds left here in the game as seconds tick off. Moniz at quarterback. And he'll take one final snap. Hands off. And that is going to be wrapped up and brought down at about midfield. And that will be the final play of our ball game. The Yeomen will win here in Franklin. 37-8 is our final score. The Yeomen victorious for the second time in 2020. Their record improves to 2-1. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a moment. You're listening to Yo Football on 105 on the Ranch.
With more than 100 years of serving Central Texas, Buckholz State Bank is all about you, the customer. Banking with a personal touch. That's what Buckholz Bank does best. At Buckholz State Bank, you're not just a number. Discover the difference. Stop in at any of their 3 locations and visit with a personal banker about becoming a valued customer. Because we care. Buckholz State Bank in Buckholz, Cameron Branch Buckholz State Bank, and Rogers Bank. Member FDIC.
At Standards Home Health, they believe that you deserve compassionate, honest, and reliable care from only the finest healthcare professionals. Call the professionals at Standards Home Health to find out more about home health services. You have a choice when it comes to choosing a home health provider. Choose the provider that has raised the standards in home health care across the state of Texas. Standards Home Health and Hospice. 1-888-671-7007. 1-888-671-7007.
So you're feeling out of alignment. Don't ignore the signs and think maybe they'll go away. Head straight to Just Chiropractic in Temple and see Dr. Barbara.